matchup against the Steelers. Barring a setback in pregame, Vikings running back Dalvin Cook should be able to make his return from a shoulder injury. T.J. Watt, 3.5 sacks in the Steelers' win last Sunday against Baltimore. That a career high in a single game. Watt right now leading the NFL with 16 sacks on the season. Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy back to work after a 10-day absence due to COVID-19. McCarthy today on Sunday's meeting with the Washington football team.
In my view, I think it's a great course for your football team to go through. We need it as a team. We need the challenges. We need the adversity. We need everything about it. I really like the way this is teed up for us. Obviously, our focus is on this first game and only the first game. So we're focused on getting the 9 wins, and that's all that really matters. But I love the gauntlet this division stretch.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. Washington has won 4 in a row right now. Washington 2 games behind the Cowboys in the NFC East. Alabama quarterback Bryce Young named AP College Football Player of the Year. Florida State defensive end Jermaine Johnson announcing he's declared for the NFL Draft.
So, you think you know Wrangler jeans? Well, let us introduce you to some exciting new additions to the legacy. Just check out Wrangler.com and discover tons of new styles, all the latest denim trends, and more.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hey, welcome into the Spring Sports Brewery here on a Thursday here in December. Jacksonville Jaguars getting ready for the Tennessee Titans. And we are back at Strings in Springfield for another Thursday edition of Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Have Jaguars All Access coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. You can join us here as well. Shaq Griffin is back on the show this week as he will play, coming off the concussions. He's missed a couple of games, so that should help some play in the secondary. We'll see who plays for the Titans, and that's really a storyline for the Titans. They have been so banged up. I mean, the Jags roster, head-to-head with the Titans, if given healthy, is not very good, right, compared to the Titans. Titans are better. We knew that coming into the year. But if you wanted, the Titans are saying, hold my beer here at Strings, right? I mean, they have had a ton of them. And you can't use injuries in the NFL because everybody has them, and some have more than others. Meanwhile, Tennessee continues to be in first place in the AFC South. Brent Martineau here, Action Sports Jax Studios, filled with Austin Lane and Casey Kurtz. What's happening, fellas?
Nothing too much, man. Same old over here.
They are, really. I mean, they have the biggest excuse of anybody maybe in the league, right? The Titans. I mean, they'll lose Derrick Henry, who arguably was the MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And maybe people would argue nobody more valuable to their team and what they want to do and everything else than him, especially outside of a quarterback. And then just the countless other injuries from A.J. Brown to Julio Jones to everybody else. And it's really been a challenge for Mike Vrabel and the Titans, and yet they find ways to win, although they have lost 2 in a row, and it's starting to catch up to them.
It is definitely starting to catch up to him a little bit. Julio Jones might be coming back, I believe, for this game. They took him back off IR. He's back practicing again. They released some, footage of, the Titans media people, and he looks like he's, getting back to 100%. Casey, I'm not sure if I'd buy into that in terms of your fantasy team or anything like that, but just to let you know, Julio Jones looks like he will be coming back.
I have no choice.
You have no. I know.
I'm in trouble right now.
It's been a rough season, hasn't it, for everybody? I know. It's preach, man. But so if you get Julio Jones back, that's going to be a big bump. But this is where coaching comes into play, and this is where culture comes into play. When you lose, arguably the MVP of the league in Derrick Henry, and then you lose A.J. Brown for a bit, and you've lost Julio Jones, and these injuries start to add up a little bit, you really kind of find out what kind of makeup you are. I mean, that's why I was always such a big fan of Mike Tomlin, because after they lost Big Ben, they still went 8-8 with, Mason Rudolph, whoever was the backup quarterback at the time. So it really goes to show you what kind of culture, what kind of coach you have in place when you guys start going down.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. We'll see what happens to the Tennessee Titans coming up against the Jaguars on Sunday. Meanwhile, here in Jacksonville, the story remains kind of the fallout from the James Robinson stuff. Not a lot of fallout today, although I think the big story is what is not being said, and that's offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell basically not acknowledging and moving on and saying that's been talked about. Which really said volumes to me, Austin. I think it shows that this has been a major storyline this week inside that building, so much so that the offensive coordinator by Thursday doesn't want to address it.
Sure. So then what was the final, synopsis of the James Robinson situation? They thought he was hurt? Or like what?
I don't That's a good question.
Well,
what's the final synopsis? Did they bench him? Was he hurt? Did they just mismanage it? Because we've seen everything, right? We've heard for a couple weeks now from Urban Meyer that he was hurt, right? And that was the thing. And then occasionally it'll be a drop. Well, you can't fumble the football. Well, by yesterday, after everything had kind of made its way through, from James talking to the swell of discussion about it here in Jacksonville, really across the country, then Urban said, listen, you kind of bench yourself. But then there's the wishy-washy nature. Okay, if you bench yourself, then why is Carlos Hyde in a handful of snaps later, but it takes 20 snaps for James Robinson to get in? So, no, I don't think we have a concrete answer, other than the fact that this football team knows they need him now, and it took James Robinson to say it Monday night. It took a whole city to get behind him, and it took his captains and teammates to get behind him as well to alert the coaches that we want this guy playing. I don't care if he fumbles or not.
Well, then, yeah. So then, cool. You can, if you're Bevel, you can be sick and tired of the question. You can defer to the Tennessee Titans. But, like, if I'm in the media, which I am, and I don't get an upfront answer of what exactly went down, why he was sitting out, I mean, it's still going to linger there. I mean, like, I get, like, you know, you're moving on to Tennessee Titans in that building as you should because, you know, it's a division game. It's your biggest rival, all this stuff. But from where I sit, okay, great. Urban Meyer said his piece. Okay, great. Bevel got in front of the media and didn't really say much about it. You know, Parmley opted, I guess, not to talk to the media this week. That'll be next week. Fantastic. Still haven't heard any kind of ownership in terms of what exactly happened and why James Robinson was sitting out. But, hey, maybe we'll see what happens this week, and maybe we'll get to it next week. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I will say this, and this is where I'll there's a couple of things about it for me, all right? You have to think like they think. You can't think what you want. I've said this multiple times this week. The people love the interview. The fans love the interview, and I don't blame them for it. They loved the interview Monday night because they heard what they wanted to hear and what we all thought. Somebody was honest. Somebody said, hey, I got benched. I deserve the ball more. Yeah, we know. And he finally said it. And so that's why everybody kind of enjoyed the Monday night interview, because somebody finally said something crystal clear that made sense and was logical, and there was an explanation involved. Meanwhile, Urban Meyer still is all over the place with this. But this will sound a little bit of a defense of the Jags. If I'm the Jags coaching staff, if I'm Darrell Bevel, it's Thursday. Like, that was Monday. You know how much these guys live in a bubble. That they don't want to be talking about that anymore. They have the right to not talk about it. And I think if he had talked Tuesday or even Monday or even yesterday, I think it might have been – I might feel differently about him not addressing it publicly. But I just – from their point of view, they don't have to tell us anything, right? I mean, they don't we've done this for a long time. People don't necessarily tell you everything you want to hear and every explanation. They don't. You ask the question, but there's a lot of times people don't answer the question, man.
But here's where I sit from Monday. I mean, I already knew what was going on Monday. Like, I didn't need the confirmation bias of James Robinson on Monday. That did absolutely nothing for me. What I need from this team is accountability to say, okay, it was my decision, or okay, it was his decision, or okay, I'm making the call. That's what I need. I need to know the chain of command, because if I'm going to cover this team, I would like to know who's making these decisions. I don't need confirmation, but that's for the fans. Fantastic. What I would like to know is who is making these calls and who is responsible for James Robinson sitting out 20-plus plays when he's your best player on the team. I could care less about the obvious. I want to know who's making the calls.
Yeah, and okay, Casey, do you have the sound from Bevel on James Robinson? Do you have it ready yet?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, you let me know when it's ready, because I want you to hear something in there. And I think what's interesting is he might have said more than we are willing to say he said. And we'll get to that in a moment because I want you to hear it. But a lot of this is set up with basically him saying that he is in charge of the rotation. So he kind of does take accountability for it. It still doesn't explain a lot of the Urban stuff, right? From Parmalee to this to that. I mean, it's all over the place. But I do think Bevel kind of says it, and then it's like, I'm not going to go into detail, essentially, of how we all came up. I'm not doing that, all right? We're on to Tennessee. So I can live with that. Bigger to me is the it just really spoke volumes of this was a major story. There was accountability probably taken inside the building the last couple of days. Maybe not in front of a microphone, Austin, but I think there was accountability. And I think we learned that yesterday, right? We learned that with Trevor Lawrence when he said, hey, I voiced my opinion, and we've discussed it, and we've moved on as a team. And so I think now everybody by Thursday is trying to live in that same world of moving on to a team, as a team. Listen to what Darrell Bevell says. I don't know how much we'll hear right here from what Casey pulled, but here's what he had to say about the James Robinson situation.
So I think we've talked a lot about it. I think you talked to Coach Meyer. I think you talked to Trevor. I think you talked to James. And I'm gonna let all those conversations go. Gonna let it, gonna move on. We're focused on Tennessee. We've had great communication. Everybody's on the same page, and we're just moving on from that.
So there it is, and what wasn't played in that part, I can't remember if it was a question before or after, was when he said, who's in charge? Somebody asked the question, who is in charge of the rotation of running backs? And he said, I am.
But then why did Urban Meyer say Parmalee?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Then
Listen, I don't know what Urban Meyer's doing. I mean, that's crystal clear. I'm not defending Urban Meyer. I'm defending right now Darrell Bevell, right, for moving on from the situation. Urban has given us 15 different ways to go with this story. Darrell Bevell basically acknowledged that I'm in charge of the rotation, and maybe he was taking the fall for Parmalee there. But he has the ability to override, it sounds like. And he was taking accountability to say, hey, we've talked about it. He shared that there was accountability taken in the building. There was communication taken in the building. But I'm not talking about it anymore. So I just don't know if I blame Bevell too much for not being as transparent as we all want him to be.
Sure. Okay. I mean, then I guess we're all on to Tennessee. I'm just saying where I'm coming from. I mean, I'm still going to sit here and say, well, whose call was it then? Because we established nothing. Like, what have we truly learned these past couple of days about the James Robinson situation? We learned that Trevor Lawrence came forward. Well, yeah, you're a captain. You're the quarterback of the team. James Robinson makes you better. No kidding. We learned that other players probably spoke out in favor of James Robinson. Well, yes, this is what locker rooms do when your best player doesn't play. What have we learned from the organization standpoint of why James Robinson didn't play?
Well, I think that's a fair question, first of all. I don't know until I see it happen on Sunday. I think Sunday we learn more. How much do they play him? How much do they give him the ball? Right? I mean, then what did we learn? Well, we learned that they listened to the players, that they acknowledged they were wrong. Or James fumbles 2 more times and doesn't play well, and they acknowledge that, see what happens? We weren't wrong. I don't know. But I think we learned more on Sunday. I don't think we've learned a lot. And a lot of the reason why we haven't learned a lot from the coaching staff and management is because Urban Meyer has been very all over the place with his response. And so I think you asked a very good question earlier, and that was, so what was the reason? Right? We still really don't know what the actual reason was. But I think in reality, based on the fact that if he does play and doesn't sit out 15 snaps on Sunday, then I think we all know what exactly happened. And James acknowledged that on Jags Report Live Monday night. And that is, I was benched.
But by who? Like, this is what I'm trying to get out here. Is like,
but it doesn't matter by who. Urban has the right. Urban has the say. This is on Urban. Urban has the say. Urban can trump everything, man. He hears everything going through his headsets. He didn't have to look in the blue tent behind him. He had to look right next to him. I watched James Robinson stand next to all the coaches for like 15 of the plays.
So then if this is Urban Meyer's thing, and I'm Coach Parmalee, the running backs coach, why have you not resigned your ass to get released? Because if I'm the running backs coach and I get thrown underneath the bus like that, I'm out. I'm not going to be the scapegoat for this team that's won 2 games. There's no way. I would be on the next bus out of here. So then why isn't Parmalee? Maybe he is fed up. But, like, if you're going to make me the scapegoat.
Maybe that's why he's not talking.
Well, maybe. But seriously, like, if you're going to make me the scapegoat and throw me underneath the bus, then I got an issue with that.
Yeah. I guess I look at it from a broader view, and really the view that we all have taken, I think, at one time or another is it doesn't matter if Bernie Parmalee is supposed to make the rotation decision. It doesn't matter even if Darrell Bevell is the guy that's supposed to make the rotation decision. There's one guy with a headset on the sideline that can trump anything that is said, called, or done, and that is Urban Meyer. And he is supposed to oversee it so situations like this do not occur, and especially 2 weeks in a row. And he is supposed to, if the rest of the guys are lost or have a problem with James, he's supposed to say, get his ass in there. That guy's helping us out. We have scored 7 points. We have scored 1 touchdown each game of the last 6 games on average. Get him in there. He is our better guy. And so, to me, the whole thing still is on Urban Meyer. But I do think you ask a fair question is, do we really know why he wasn't in the game?
Yeah.
And to that point, and again, I know everybody wants people's heads in this situation. I get it. I understand. I would like to know too, Austin. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to know. I'm just telling you, like, we've covered this stuff enough to know that they don't always give us the answers we want.
And that's fine. And then they don't have to, but I'm still going to question it. I'm not just going to say, okay, we're on a 10. I mean, I will question it until I get an answer that makes sense, or like at least there's some sort of accountability. And I think if you're in that building with the Jaguars and you're all about transparency and you're all about peeling back the curtain, and I sit here on a Thursday and I still don't know the reason why James Robinson didn't play, whether it was because of the injury or because I guess when you fumble, you get benched, but then some guys get benched long. Like I seriously don't know. And I think I think that answer should be justified. I don't think I'm asking too much of this organization to come out and say, hey, why didn't James Robinson play? Like, what was actually the final reason? Who made the call? What was going on there? Like, that's not too much to ask. Now, maybe the Jaguars, for whatever reason, on this one case, want to keep this close to the chest, and that's on them. I'm just saying where I'm coming from.
Let me ask you this, though, okay? And because, again, I don't want to get muddied up in semantics, but I think you're bringing up a good point. I think a lot of people do want to know. I think a lot of do we know why Gardner Minshew didn't play last year, like the second half of last year, or why it took him so long to get inserted back in the lineup after the so-called hand injury? Because
Doug Marrone wasn't a fan of him? I mean, that's what I would say.
Did Doug Marrone say that?
Doug Marrone did not say that, but, I mean, it was pretty obvious, I thought.
Okay, but I think this is a similar situation. I think it's pretty obvious, right? We all feel like this staff might not be a big fan of James Robinson, but nobody's saying that. Okay. And I think Doug Marrone tried to say, hey, it was an injury. It's an injury. It's an injury, even though I think it was deeper than that. I think it was they didn't trust him because of the reporting of the injury. I don't think he was hurt for as long as he was. Maybe they were trying to not win because the number 1 pick was in play. Sure. Like, there could be a lot of different reasons. But I think the difference here is Doug Marrone kind of stayed with we're going with the guy who gives the best chance to win. We're going with the guy, even though we kind of knew he was lying, he was giving us the best chance to win. The difference here is Urban Meyer has given us like 4 different reasons instead of one consistent reason.
So the best player on the team's not playing because Urban Meyer doesn't like the fact that James Robinson ran a 4.64?
Well, that's one of the theories, right? Again, comparing it to the Minshew thing, I mean, I think there's 4 different theories out there.
But at least with Minshew, like that Doug Marrone didn't like Minshew because the whole hand issue was a thing. Minshew wasn't really coming forward. He was kind of doing stuff on his own, and I don't think he was really being transparent in terms of that injury. What has James Robinson done wrong to warrant him not playing because Urban Meyer doesn't like him or the Bevel doesn't like him? Because he ran a 4.64?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why, Austin. I listen, I'm baffled by it, too. That's why we've been talking about it for 3 straight weeks. Like, I don't get it. I mean, I think he's your best player. I think a lot of people in town feel the same way. I don't know why they think there's not as much separation between Carlos Hyde and James Robinson. I don't know. I think that is certainly an underbelly of this, for sure. There's no other reasonable explanation, given the series of events that have transpired all year long, but especially in the last couple of weeks. But I also think we're kidding ourselves if we sat there last year and said, hey, the Jags' best chance to beat the Green Bay Packers is playing Jake Luton and not Gardner Minshew. Or whatever it was. I forget the timing of it. But they played 3 different guys, and Gardner Minshew was the best option to win a football game. And so I just think this does happen from time to time, and we still really don't know the answer to the Minshew thing, and we might never know the actual answer of the James Robinson thing, or maybe it comes out in January or February where we learn a little bit more when Bevel or Parmalee leaves the team, gets fired, resigns, whatever it is, and maybe we learn a little bit more. But I just think I do think that happens in the NFL. I think I guess I could ask the same question to you, like you bring up this story, and it's an awful story, really, about the Chicago stuff. But did you ever really get a resolution of, like, why that happened?
What
Chicago why you got cut twice in one day?
Oh, because they were trying to trade me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because they're trying to trade me, and they're trying to, like, wait till the very last second to trade me with Seattle, and it didn't work out.
Okay, I get you.
But I mean, Yeah,
I think this happens. I just think it happens. I think it's part of the NFL sometimes. They just don't reveal everything. You know?
And I guess if this shows us anything, it's the fact that Devontae Adams, no matter how much he wants to come to Jacksonville, is not coming because Devontae Adams ran a 4.56, and you can't do that. Can't do that in this team. Too slow. Too slow.
So I really like your question, though. I really do. I think you bring up a really good point because it's been something that's we've kind of all talked about as this thing has played out, especially this week, and that is Urban has given us, really, if you wanted to take every soundbite that we had on James Robinson from Urban Meyer, he has said some combination of he's hurt still, not 100%. He said that probably the most. He said you can't fumble the football. Yesterday he said you bench yourself if you fumble the football. It's Bernie Parmalay's decision. It's the coaching staff's decision on when guys go back in the rotation and what they've had. And so that's like a lot of different things. Now, not once has he said, we don't like James Robinson, or we don't think he's a good player, or we don't think he's, he hasn't really compared him and Hyde, although I think he could easily have done that and got off the hook by just saying, hey, we think he's like 70% right now, and him and Carlos Hyde at 70%, we feel is kind of similar.
But Urban Meyer also called James Robinson a top 5 running back. Well,
he did yesterday. He had it for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's after their meeting and after what maybe there's a little bit of resolution here. To go back to what you said is, what do you think the reason is? Forget about what they've told us, because, again, they've told us 5-6 different things. What do you think at the end of the day? Did he get benched? Is it just he's not they're in good favor with them? Is he hurt more than even we all want to admit? What do you think? At the end of the day, the reason why he got sat for 16 plays and 20 plays.
If I was to place a bet of why he sat, I think that he fumbled. Whoever Urban Meyer, let's say, pulled him out, fine. I think Parmalee sat him, and then I think Urban Meyer failed to recognize that James Robinson wasn't back in the game, and he didn't even notice.
So you think it's more mismanagement?
I think it's mismanaged and negligence.
Yeah. And that's fair. I mean, and that's and that could very well be it, and that's bad, by the way. I think it's all probably bad, but that's really bad.
That's
probably
that
out of all of it is bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, if you're struggling to get first downs and you're struggling to score, and in the midst of a game you don't realize that your best player hasn't been in there for a long time. I can tell you I know one guy who I guarantee was asking himself at one point or another as he's calling the play in the huddle, where's 25? Mm-hmm. Is he okay? Mm-hmm. I bet that was Trevor Lawrence. I bet he has respect for Hyde, and I'm not saying he doesn't. But I guarantee you at one point or another over these last couple of weeks, Trevor Lawrence looked in that huddle and called whatever play they got, spider, Y, banana, whatever. And he's like, where the hell's 25? I hope he's okay. You know, I guarantee you he said that to himself. And maybe others did on that offense as well. The mystery continues. But I do think we are void of further explanation from here on out. We'll probably ask Shaq Griffin about it tonight on Jaguars All Access. You can tune into that 7 o'clock on Fox 30. But I'm not sure this one will be as widely viewed as maybe Monday nights with James Robinson was. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live at String Sports Brewery here in Springfield.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Becoming partly cloudy today. It will be cooler, but still pretty mild. Highs around 70 degrees, holding in the 60s at the beaches. Fog develops overnight tonight down into the upper 50s and become partly sunny and quite warm for tomorrow. Your Friday high in the upper 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to let the good times roll. And by roll, I mean roll on home in a brand new Toyota, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota has 300 new Toyotas available. And with Arlington's 30-day exchange program and lifetime warranty with every new purchase, buying your new Toyota's more fun than ever. Toyotathon is on at Arlington, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
The Florida Forum Speaker Series, brought to you by the Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital, is underway. Don't miss Major General Charles F. Bolden Jr., a retired Marine officer, astronaut, and former NASA administrator, on November 17th, and four-time Super Bowl champion and broadcaster Terry Bradshaw on January 20th, 2022. The series takes place at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today at thefloridaforum.com. The Florida Forum has contributed more than $9.2 million to Wolfson Children's Hospital of Jacksonville.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Now that medical marijuana is being used in Florida, you need information. Just log on to the Mary YouTube videocast to learn about medical marijuana use in Florida. We talk to doctors, nurses, pastors, pharmacists, legislators, and law enforcement officials to bring you the most up-to-date information about medical marijuana use in Florida. Subscribe and never miss an update.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Yeah, we have a lot of issues going on right now. I'm not going to, pinpoint it on one thing. We're trying to get better each and every week as we go out there. We have a young, some young players on offense that we're trying to, continue to get better. If you ask me how I want to play the game, that's how I want to play the game. I want to run the ball, and whatever the style of run is that we're running, and then like to be able to build our pass game off of that.
That is Darrell Bevel, Jaguars offensive coordinator, and hard to find on the approval ratings list who has a lower approval rating, Darrell Bevel or Urban Meyer.
Man, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah, that's a pretty good poll question.
Yeah.
In fact, let's fire it up. Let's fire it up.
All right. You have to go Meyer, right? Because he's kind of the leader of this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, right now, man, it's just amazing how quick this can happen. And what I really started to wonder is how could it turn? Like, what's it going to take to turn folks that are right now hell-bent against Urban Meyer? And it's like, this is not going to work. And the reason I say this is twofold. One is because you really always want to see where the light at the end of the tunnel is around here.
Sure.
Listen, all we have is some of that sometimes. I mean, Jags just don't get it done on the field. I was telling somebody, it's 14 years I've been here. It's 1 year they've won. You guys had that 8-8 year in 2010. That was pretty good. So, I mean, all we really have is the idea that when will it turn, right? And that's what got everybody excited about Urban and mostly Trevor this offseason. So you have that, and then it's like, the other part of it to me, and I told you this the other day, is he ain't going anywhere, folks.
Yeah.
If you're hell-bent against it, he's not going anywhere. Like, I don't see that happening. I mean, Shad Khan is not firing him, and I really don't think Urban's stepping away. I don't. And so if that's what all you have, and for the next couple of months and every day you're talking Jags and thinking Jags and consumed by, I can't wait till Urban's out of here, it ain't happening anytime soon. So let me take a little bit of the stress off your life, and let's try to point our focus into a different direction, all right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you agree with me, Oz. I think you do. I mean, the last couple of days we've talked about this. He's not going anywhere.
So were you asking, though, what does it take to turn it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so
for
really what I'm saying
is,
what does it take to give people a little bit of hope, a little bit of confidence in Urban Meyer that he can change this still?
Are you ready? Yeah. I have New Jerseys. That's
I thought you were going to say Tebow.
Oh, no, man. You want to bring that circus? I mean, yeah. Hey, that's what this team needs right now is a bigger circus.
Are you kidding me? That was about as least of a circus as there's been.
Yeah, but now, I mean, come on, Brent. Don't even put that in the atmosphere. We don't need that right now.
I was going to save this for tomorrow, I think. I was thinking of it, but let's do it right now because we're talking about it. I want you to kind of – I like doing this sometimes. It's almost like you're a headline writer, even though newspapers don't really exist anymore. But, like, you're a headline writer for January 10th or 15th. And what I'm getting at is after the season. So the Jags go 2-15. What's the headline?
If the Jaguars go 2-15?
Yeah. So that means they lose the last 5.
Yeah. So, like, after that last game, what's the headline going to read?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You put me on the spot.
I know. You don't have to be, like, the perfect headline. I'm just saying, like, what's the basis of it, right?
Yeah. Sadsonville? I don't know.
Very good. That was even better than I thought. I didn't anticipate that.
I don't. Yeah, but that doesn't. I mean, that's Bush League at best. That guy told you 2 nights ago on the phone or last night or whatever. He called you Bush League. I can do better. Like, Casey, what do you got?
Come on, Casey, play the game, man.
Headlines.
It would just be a picture of Rob Schneider and the Water Boy. You understand.
Yeah. I got it. It would be like the meme thing.
Hey, here's what I think it would be. It would be the picture would be Urban Meyer, hands on knees, head down on the sideline.
Yep,
that's a good
one. And that would, if you want to do a picture, headline would be, I mean, it's a mess in Jacksonville, something like that,
sure.
Right?
Yep.
Something to that degree. And
Some
again,
things never change.
Yeah, well, there you go. Perfect.
Urban leasing? Because, like, maybe he's going to be, you don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Urban Fire.
Urban Fire.
Either way, that plays in a different. Hey, actually, that's a good one. Urban Fire plays in a couple different ways. It's a mess, like this thing is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, sure.
Or do you fire Urban? I like that.
We're
on to it. All right. So that's if they are bad. Let's just even put in the category they're 1-4 down the stretch, because that would be 3-14.
Yeah.
All right. So I go a little bit different, and I say they go 3-2, or even like 4-1 down the stretch. Let's just get crazy. I won't go 5-0, but 3-2 or 4-1, where they close out with wins over. Let's just say they beat Tennessee this week. They beat Houston and the Jets. okay? And then they go, but then they lose the last two, Patriots and the Colts, or who are playing for something and are clearly better. Or they can lose this week. They beat the Texans and the Jets. They lose to the Patriots but beat the Colts. Something of that magnitude, right? Like basically like this change, this whole moment this week kind of helped galvanize the team and changed it. And so now you got to put your arms around Jags get, let's just say 5 wins. They go 3-2, so they go 5-12.
Mm-hmm.
But they win 3 out of their last 5 after this mess of this week. Now what?
Jaguars go 5-12. Here's our top 5 edge rushers out of college football.
That's it. Just like looking to the draft.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah,
What do you got?
if you go that route, you have to say Jaguars ruin chance at top pass rushers in draft.
Of course. You're such a negative thinker. Come on.
I'm trying to.
Here's where it goes. It's a picture.
Would you be
instead.
hopeful? Would you be hopeful though?
Well,
Yeah.
I got to say this. Okay, this is a mess right now.
Yeah.
This is bad. If the Jags were somehow to go 3-2 over the last 5 games, I mean, I think you got to give credit to Urban for that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think you'd have to – what would happen if they go 3-2, in my opinion, is Trevor would kind of elevate, and Trevor would play some good games. And I think the actual picture is like something about Trevor. And like Trevor saves Urban, or Trevor, like, because what I would do in January, whatever, however we want to frame it, I would make it more about Trevor, because I think the turning point would then be Trevor speaking up this last couple of days. Like, I think that would be magnified, because then he backed it up with good play and a few wins. And now we can start saying, hey, now, Trevor got 5 wins that rookie year. He probably threw 8 touchdowns against 3 picks to finish it off or something. And now you're starting to say, okay, let's go build this thing. I think that would be that would be the best case scenario for the Jags, that we would have a little something. And by the way, if that does take place, there's no talk of Urban leaving.
Okay.
There's no talk of Urban. Like, that's where my point being on this whole conversation is, I think that's how Urban could then kind of win a few folks over. And approval rating wise, it might go from right now, which is like less than 10%, to like 25, 30%.
Close-up of Trevor Lawrence wearing shades, maybe in a Subway commercial. Headline reads, lights, cameras, Actionville. Jacksonville wins West 3 games, primetime games guaranteed next year.
That's good.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
And by the way, depending on which games he wins,
no primetime games.
Yeah, no primetime games.
You're gonna play the Tennessee Titans on Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football. Awesome. Can't wait.
The crazy thing about it is, depending on who he beats, then you could talk about him amongst the other rookies, right? Because let's just say they go 3 wins and they beat Davis Mills. We're not going to talk about that much, but they beat Zach Wilson, and somehow he beats like Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just say. I know it doesn't realistic, but that's how things could change. I mean, so I love kind of seeing down the road, okay, what if, because that's how everything changes. Now, if they go 2-3, this is the most difficult headline to write, because I'm not really sure if they're 4-13, they go 2-3. Mac Jones beats Trevor. They lose to the Colts and probably Titans, I guess, in this scenario. I don't know how many people feel that much different than they feel right now. They don't feel as bad, but it's kind of like picking from some bad food options at the hospital.
Whoa.
Wow.
Hey, shout out to Mayo Clinic, because they have great options there. When my wife used to work there, actually, I should say this. The workers' cafeteria goes hard. I'm not sure what the patient's cafeteria is like.
Yeah, the Jell-O can only taste so good.
Oh, dude, they had a sushi bar at the workers' cafeteria I used to go eat all the time.
That's impressive.
Maybe I shouldn't say I was going in the workers'
Probably
cafeteria.
not.
Yeah, whatever. My wife got me in. It's fine.
Let's just say this. It's not like you snuck in there.
Oh, no, man. No. I mean, I had the credential and everything. I got the hookup.
By the way, if you want to vote on the approval rating poll that did make it out to Twitter, ESPN 690 Jax, go ahead and vote on that.
Oh, you did do it? Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting to ask you, because last time I put up a poll, it was fake. I shouldn't have put it up. So this time I was waiting to ask, but I was like, nah, I make my own rules.
That's good for you. I need a little bit more of that. I like that.
Yeah.
You tell me what I'm doing. I like that. So anyway, but you get what I'm saying about it. Like, I was really thinking about that today. It's like there's 3 different options for them the rest of the year. They've kind of they're either going to turn this thing around and this is going to galvanize them, and they maybe win 3 games. I think that's most realistic because there are 3 winnable games out there for them, I think. And then, more likely probably win 2. But then there's this, both ends of the spectrum where they lose the rest or go 1-4, which would be just as bad as losing the rest, essentially, or go 4-1, or they ain't going 5-0. But so they just all of a sudden something clicks, or it just doesn't, and it just fades into a miserable year, which we have seen happen many a times around here. So I think it's really interesting to kind of see how this 5 games plays out, and I'll add to this why I think this is a big 5 games. Tennessee, Houston, Indianapolis. I just named 3 opponents in the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do anything to say, hey, we're here, like we exist, right? Can you get them thinking about you at all going into 2022? I think that's part of it. And then I really think Davis Mills to a lesser extent, but Davis Mills, if he is playing and he beats Trevor with that Houston team beating the Jags, my God. And Zach Wilson and Mac Jones. Now, Mac, again, how does it look? Mac is obviously he's on the best football team left on the schedule. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of different ways to feel about that. But the point is you're playing 3 rookies in your class.
Yeah.
And this helps form narratives for the next few months. Mm-hmm. And whether Trevor likes it or not, and I'm not saying Trevor's consumed by it. To him, it's just a game. But we will be consumed by it. And that's just the way our business works and the way our world works that we will compare. So I think this is a huge 5 games if you look at it from a rookie quarterback standpoint and an AFC South standpoint, Austin.
No, for sure. To me, the biggest game is the Texans game because that's a game you should win at home.
Did Tyrod get hurt again?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys either. For my poker tournament, which went horrible, by the way, so I was like a celebrity bounty. So each bounty had prizes attached to them. So one was $150 to that Brazilian steakhouse in town and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I felt so bad because when I got knocked out, my prize, because they don't tell you what your prize is until you get knocked out, my prize was tickets to the Texans-Jaguars game. And I was just like, yeah, all right. Sorry about that.
Well, hey, you keep this up, they might not let you in the press box.
What?
Hey, you'll be with me.
That's fine. Don't worry. I don't know, man. Those French toast sticks were legit.
Don't worry. I got an extra season ticket. You can sit in section 203.
Sounds like a plan.
Should come down and visit with us when I go down there.
Well, I'd appreciate an invite.
It's usually the best part of the day.
I'd appreciate
an invite. Say hello to all the fans in section 203.
Yeah, I'll sit up to Ty.
Not even my family, just,
just
everybody else.
I'm going to show him the OVC standings in Murray State right now in college basketball, too. I want to get his thoughts about that.
He's celebrating. I don't know if he's celebrating. It was a tough call for him last night. The Gators, he likes the Gators. They win, but they beat the Ospreys pretty good. So he likes the Ospreys.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Strings Sports Brewery here in Springfield on a Thursday here until 6. Jaguars All Access coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Come on out, though. Say hello.
This is Action Sports Jacks.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to doing the anatomy of the screenplay. What the hell? Why can't we run a screen in Jacksonville for 14 years since I've been here? 14 freaking years we can't run a screenplay. And then on defense, we can't stop the damn thing. They can't stop a screenplay. We can't run a screenplay. What is going on in Jacksonville? It's unbelievable. They run screenplays in high school.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior,
Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of Quit Aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be lit. Now there's someone living tobacco free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
For 50 years, Taylor has been a leader in caring for the elderly. Providing quality, compassionate care has always been our mission. At Taylor Care Center and Taylor Manor, our recipe for success has always been our exceptional team. They work tirelessly to ensure that your family member gets the best care possible. When residents were not able to spend time with you and your family, our team stepped up to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions. Our dedicated staff is among the best in the business. Taylor Residents, providing safe, compassionate care every day.
You love Zoom for video meetings? Now, choose Zoom to power your phone communications too. Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system. Zoom Phone's secure HD audio and enterprise-grade reliability keep you connected to your teams and your customers. And it's easy to use on mobile, desktop, or desk phone. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Zoom, how the world connects.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
When I first got injured and I was able to start doing things by myself again, I took for granted just walking or going to the bathroom. Like, you take all that stuff for granted, and then now it's just, I appreciate all those moments. So when I wake up every day now, I'm just truly just full because I know what it was like to not be able to do all those things on my own time and get up and walk to where I wanted to go, or drive to where I wanted to go. I always had to call somebody or ask somebody for help. So it's really a testament of will, but also just being thankful because some people didn't get back the opportunity that I got.
Well, it's going to be a shot out of the dark here, but given the fact that the Steelers are playing tonight, I wonder if that's Ryan Shazier.
That would be correct.
Good call.
Wow.
Nicely done.
That was deduction at its finest, kids.
I mean, was it that difficult?
Was it that difficult? Why would you be playing a Ryan Shazier soundbite?
Thursday Night Football?
Well, yes. Okay, so yeah, you put the Steelers part together, that's good, but like the way he was talking, like how many people do you know that's been through that? That would be interviewed on ESPN.
Well, I don't ever think, did he ever say in that soundbite, like paralysis or anything like that? I mean,
he said he took for granted walking to the bathroom.
Initially when I heard that, I thought he meant, it could have been somebody who just like had coming off surgery,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know if you need a double pat on the back, maybe just a single.
I thought it was damn good, by the way. Like, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was damn good. By the way, that's 2 damn good things for me in the last 24 hours, including my sportscast last night on TV because it got no voicemail.
Oh, man, do you want me to leave you a fake one next time?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Try to keep you on your toes a little bit?
Yeah. If it has to come between 11:30 and midnight, though, or it doesn't count.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, right, you're sleeping.
Oh, I know, but I'm sure my son will be awake. He can leave you one.
Will someday, we ask like what the headline for the Jags will be at January, whatever.
Yeah.
We're going on 3 years, by the way, with ESPN 690. Started from scratch, people. It's a heck of a story.
Yeah. A real rags to rags story.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, will the riches ever come? Is the question. And they have come for Pat McAfee's show.
Oh, yeah, man, they have.
And so can we see a time, like, is he giving us hope that someday on ESPN 690 we'll sign a 4-year, $30 million deal or whatever it is with FanDuel?
No,
I don't think so.
No, not really.
I don't need 4 years, $30
like
million.
The bad news
right?
Bears, but like the coach never figures it out. Like he just keeps
like
drinking,
the
and it's
Jags.
like what? Yeah, basically. Yeah,
So we are the Jags.
We're a reflection of the team that we cover.
Yes, we are that.
ESPN 690. We're just trying to reflect.
Yeah, we epitomize.
Yeah,
the reflection hour.
Do you want do you want the ultimate Jaguars experience? ESPN 690s for you.
Yeah, that's right. We actually had this saying goes back about a year ago or a couple years ago. It's like ESPN 690 just trying to make it.
Yeah.
And here we are 3 years later.
Yep.
Still got the damn slogan.
Yep, for sure.
The tagline hasn't changed.
I mean,
someday we'll say we made it.
I mean, at least the lights are still on.
All right, listen. You don't. That is a bigger win than you want to just. Don't say that just in passing.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, though, listen, and I don't say this like facetiously. I say this for real.
Yeah.
When we signed up for this thing, I gave it a window of 8 to 18 months.
Oh, no, for sure. For sure.
And here we are 3 years later. Now, we got to get to January 14th.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have a big bash or a celebration or whatever.
I like
the idea that, we did that year 1. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Year 2, we didn't.
Yep.
The pandemic kind of hurt us on that front.
Yeah.
So we got to make it. I'm still, every time before January 1st rolls around, I'm just waiting for an email to say, yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about.
I mean, I got a morning show. So
I understand you don't care as much if it survives.
Way, when I called this show Michigan, what a compliment.
Oh, yeah, that did work out.
When I compared myself to Tom Brady, and I said, I went to Michigan, but, Patriots and Buccaneers. Hey, what a compliment to the show. We're in the college football playoff right now, baby. Let's go.
Point.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes.
We are not Murray State unless we're leading the OVC in basketball.
Oh, boy. Their football team did better than expected. Well, no, actually, no, they didn't because they're supposed to finish first. They got 5th, but it was a winning season.
I heard the bass fishing's good.
In Murray State?
Yeah.
Top 10.
That's what I've been told.
Top 10 in the nation.
You should ask Captain Rick about that.
I should ask him about that.
I mean, McAfee, the closest we've come to McAfee is he chimed in on our show one time. We were talking about
Yeah, thanks to Scobie.
Yeah.
No, it's,
maybe someday he'll call.
How
Pat,
much
give us a buzz.
You're asking a lot of him, I feel like.
We can talk wrestling. You can. I can't.
Yeah, no, for sure. How much money did he make off the new contract that he announced?
I don't know how the deal exactly works.
Okay.
Casey's the one that said it was 4 years, $30 million.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
$430 a year.
Right?
$430 a year.
It's 4 years, $30 million a year. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
just
wait a minute. 4 years, $30 million a year?
Yes.
Not $30 million total.
No, a year. To exclusively place their bets for their show and drive their fans towards the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Man.
Wow. That is a big
Good for him, though, because, this is a guy
that is awesome.
We all know Pat McAfee. We know what he brings to the table. Guy's uber talented, but he's himself. And then, what a refreshing thing to be so successful and to always stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Especially in this business,
I applaud him, man. I think it's really cool. It's
Yeah.
a great thing. And
in your face, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. That's wild stuff. How much do you think, like, Aaron Rodgers' interview, that interview alone, has, like, elevated his show?
Didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Didn't hurt when you get the exclusive Aaron Rodgers stuff every single day.
But, I mean, listen, he had a good style and he's got a good personality. He doesn't need Aaron Rodgers to be
but let's be
successful.
honest. He got Aaron Rodgers because of the style. Like, I don't think Aaron Rodgers would go to, the traditional ESPN networks, per se. Like, Aaron Rodgers wants to go somewhere, like, where, maybe it's a former player and just, they can have a couple laughs. What's up, Aaron?
So who could we get?
What's up, Aaron?
Who could we get? We got to get a big guest. We need somebody to elevate us.
Well,
First of all, we're not as good as McAfee to begin with, probably. Maybe you might be, but I'm not. So we need somebody to elevate.
I'm not McAfee. I know.
All right. We'll think about it.
Will Fuller?
Meanwhile, FanDuel, here we are.
Hey, by the way,
I see it.
That's
why I said it.
Probably displaying my Will Fuller card on my screen now. Yep.
Will Fuller. Speaking of NFTs, the Jags tweeted something out.
Yes,
and Casey thought it was awesome.
Oh, dude, that was sick.
Casey, you're better
and
than
I don't
this,
get,
man.
I don't get any of it.
Casey, you're better than this.
I'm not.
We'll be back
I'm really
live from
not.
String Sports Brewery here in Springfield on ESPN 690. 4 years, $30 million. Oh my gosh.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah, we're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses that God safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's family feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Hey, Rick, it's that time of year again. Time to hang up Christmas lights.
That's right, Jay. But unfortunately, in Jacksonville, a lot of people are going to be hanging their lights over cracked, chipped, peeling, faded paint.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If your current paint job hasn't lasted as long as that cheap set of Christmas lights, then you need Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield is a revolutionary ceramic coating that waterproofs and protects any exterior. The bottom line with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again. Rhino Shield, it's not paint. Take advantage of our best sale ever. 30% off and 1 year same as cash financing. This is our biggest sale of the year. With Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again for this holiday season or any other holiday season. Call now, 904-519-5055. This offer expires December 31st. Rhino Shield, it's not paint.
Rhino Shield.
Hey, it's
Brent Martineau. Check out Action Sports Jax weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Lennox. Two teams who need to keep winning in order to keep their already slim playoff hopes alive. Meet tonight in Minneapolis. Steelers and Vikings open up Week 14. Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, 25 touchdown passes this season and just 3 interceptions. Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy returning to work today after missing 10 days due to COVID-19. McCarthy said, quote, "We're going to win this game. I'm confident in that." McCarthy, when asked about Sunday's road matchup against the Washington football team. Last time the Bears and Packers met, Aaron Rodgers said he still owns the Bears. The two teams play Sunday night at Lambeau Field. Dave Kaplan from ESPN 1000 in Chicago today with Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max.
This offense is awful. It's absolutely awful. What bothers me most is, we'll throw a party. Oh, my God, we got 22 points. Holy smokes. We should have a parade down Michigan Avenue. We're so resigned to being pathetic around here.
Packers can clinch the NFC North with a win Sunday and a Vikings loss tonight.
At Napa, when it comes to serving you, their motor never quits. From next-day delivery to curbside pickup, get the parts you need when you need them. That's Napa know-how.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, yesterday was a spirit practice. Guys are running into football, and that's our livelihood. I mean, you have to be. It's the only way you can get through a tough time is bringing the energy every day, fighting through adversity, and at some point that rock's going to break. And there was evidence of that. When we went to London, evidence of that against Buffalo. We've had opportunities, and when it breaks, it breaks. But if you don't, you got no chance. If you don't have the energy and the intensity and the drive, then you get no shot.
Well, Joe Cullen's going to bring that. He's going to demand that from that defensive unit, but they've got to do a better job against the run. They've been getting pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
And the defensive front had taken a step for a little bit, and now there's word out of Jacksonville and other places that Tosh Lapoy, the defensive line coach, could be headed to the Florida Gators under Billy Napier, and also news from Adam Rittenberg from ESPN, and confirmation, actually, that Virginia Tech is about to hire Jaguars tight end coach Tyler Bowen as offensive coordinator. I didn't know the Jags were so good that everybody's just ripping off people from their staff.
Dang.
They saw that Dan Arnold development. They said, we need that guy.
No, a guy that could have brought Pat Fryermuth here, too, but, whatever.
I mean,
could have Pat Fryermuth here, but it's all right.
Now, Bowen was at Penn State prior to this, so kind of college guy, and also Lapoy has connections to Napier. So I guess Lapoy was asked about it today by Jacksonville media. I think it was John Shipley, if I have that right, and I think it's pretty vague on the answer, but apparently word is that's about to happen.
Is that pretty common, Brent? I guess I haven't really followed a lot of assistant coaching hires in college, but do they usually pull from the NFL pool during the season?
I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that, but maybe we just haven't seen it close to home as much.
2 wins
again.
Here. So
when you get a team like the Jags, you got to
want to get out.
Yeah,
you want to get out. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking about the Jags. Now I don't even know when would that take place? Do they finish out the season? How does that work? I don't know. Which they probably could, right? No problem.
Yeah.
What's another month? Maybe recruiting-wise, but still,
I would say recruiting-wise, but I don't know if you'd want to finish the race here and see things through, or if you want, 2 wins though, so you probably want to get out. But if maybe you want to leave a little early, I don't know.
I'm thinking of guys that have gone from...
Let me ask you this. Would you, if you're a coach right now and you got hired by Florida or Miami, whatever, would you stay for the rest of the season or would you leave?
Well, I just don't know what the protocol is. I think you got to do what is going to make you look good 10 years down the line as well.
Sure.
You know? So, yeah, I understand it's a mess right here, but what's another month? You know, I mean, at the grand scheme of it, Bowen is going to be an offensive coordinator at Virginia Tech. I mean, that's a heck of a gig. He's only 32 years old.
Yeah.
So, I think whatever the protocol is, whatever you should do, whatever your agent says this is how it's done, I think that's what you do. Mm-hmm. And I think loyalty is a big thing in this business and profession, and it comes around, right? Mm-hmm. All you got to do is look at a guy like Joe Cullen. He was here years ago, and look at where he is. Urban didn't know him great. I think he knew him from way back when, and he hires him as a defensive coordinator. So you got to be very aware of that stuff as a coach in the league, and especially when you're a 32-year-old coach like Bowen is. So I don't know how that shakes out. We'll see. But my guess is that they stay until the end of the year. At the very least. Let's welcome in Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber right now, who's on his way to Tallahassee, perhaps for a job interview. We don't even know.
No, I would not take a job there. No, I'm good.
As a Gator, or you got something else wrong with Tallahassee?
I mean, all of it. Yeah. No, there's no reason I would leave Jacksonville for Tallahassee.
You are going
to
the
the
state
job
championship.
Interview? What is it? I mean, I'm not getting poached off the staff. I mean, I know it's not going well, but
that's the theme of the segment. I mean,
yes.
We're covering a 2-win team. Those guys are 2 wins on their resume too. It happened to them.
No, my win is the place where I'm currently about to stop at a beautiful halfway point between Jacksonville and Tallahassee.
Busy
here
bee.
we go.
Busy bee.
Shout out to the Busy Bee, folks.
Yeah, Busy Bee has lost its luster against Buc-ee's.
Oh,
but
wow.
Busy
Brent
Bee's
could be
still
a sponsor now. Careful.
Yeah. No,
it's been 3 years, man.
I was thinking the same thing as I was driving out here, but the fact remains there is no Buc-ee's between Jacksonville and Tallahassee, so this is our go-to.
Yeah, and you're obviously on the way out there on that boring drive out to Tallahassee, but drive safe and then go see maybe Trinity Christian, the only team left locally, win a state championship. It would be number 9 for them, and I think they got a good chance tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an exciting matchup because it's 2 defending state champions facing off for a state title a year later, which is really cool because Trinity Christian won the 3A title a year ago. They dropped down a division to 2A. Now they face the 2-time defending 2A champs from Champagnat Catholic.
Wow.
And we'll see who comes out with the victory here tonight. I know Austin's going to want to say that name a couple more times.
Yes,
Right,
say it again, please, Stuart. Let me hear it again.
That'd be Champagnat Catholic.
Champagnat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is their mascot?
They are the Lions.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
By the way,
it should be something a little more regal.
I mean, the Lion's pretty regal now.
Regal, man.
You watch Game of Thrones?
A Lion's pretty regal, but like when your school name is half champagne, half a yacht, like let's go. Like it should be like the Kismet. The Kismet should be their mascot.
That's actually what I was thinking of. It's funny you bring up the Kismet because Champagnat Catholic sounds like a wine I would have on the Kismet.
Oh, I bet that'd be good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
They should name a wine after them.
I'm sure that sounds really expensive, by the way. Yeah, that'd be one of the higher bottles that you would see. Like, if you go to Capitol Grill, they have like their own lockers and everything.
Yes.
That would be in Shad Khan's locker.
By the way,
the wine and probably the tuition for the school.
Yeah, there you go. There it is. Yes.
Yeah. Austin is showing where he rolls.
Are you kidding me? We had 1D line dinner and I was set. I'm all good. I haven't been back there since. I don't belong there. Now their dress code, absolutely not.
It's at the sticking point.
Yeah.
Not the bar, not the bill, but
the dress code wasn't happening.
Can't wear those Vans with 7 holes in them there at Capitol Grill.
Probably not.
It is a good matchup tonight, Stuart. Trinity's been interesting this year. They've lost a few games. They obviously have a massively tough schedule. I think like 5 of their opponents made it to the Final Four in the States in classifications. And so they obviously had this. But they feel like they're playing well. Trayon Webb now is healthier and obviously had a big run last week. What they have to do, we talked about this earlier today, but, I mean, they had 24 penalties last week. 24, and they still won. I mean, if they can only just get like 9 or 10, they'll probably win by double digits.
It's funny how that works, right? Yeah, I mean, hey, the thing that makes Trinity great can also be the thing that prevents them from winning sometimes. And they live right on that edge of intensity. Let's just say that, and that comes with the penalties from time to time. So yeah, they're really talented team, not just on offense. We talk about Trayon Webb quite a bit. Obviously, is a big-time recruit, only a junior, so he still has another year. But, I mean, the backfield there with Darnell Rogers and a few of the other guys in that stable are great. You can also throw the ball around quite a bit. You got this young, talented quarterback in Colin Hurley who continues to develop, and it's really easy to forget that this kid's a freshman when you stack him up against some of the best quarterbacks in our area. And he's right there with them. And he's got targets like Fred Highsmith who can go up and get it in the end zone. And that's just on the offensive side of the ball. So they can certainly score quite a bit. And that defense is full of playmakers that are going to be playing on Saturdays, as they are each and every year. So head coach Verlin Dorminey, Coach Ross, the whole team over there getting ready to go and hopefully bringing another title back to Duval.
It'll be a big year for Verlin Dorminey, by the way. He got his 300th win. He obviously was sick recently, and he's feeling a lot better. I texted with him a little bit this morning, and so hopefully he's good to go. Keaton Thomas, you mentioned on their defense, 7 interceptions, I think it is, this year. Very good player. Highlighted him on the Friday Night Blitz a lot this year. And also Cam Miller can get it done in the return game and defensively. So it's a good Trinity team and maybe playing their best football at the right time, hopefully, for them to win state title number 9. Hey, while we have you on, we're going to talk more high school football with Kevin Sullivan coming up at 5:30, so we'll get his take on the game as well. All of our high school football coverage, our blitz coverage, if you will, presented by Baker Sports and the University of North Florida Ospreys. And we will come out with something new next week. Stuart Weber, for the first time ever, we're going to do an Action Sports Jacks all-prep team. Which is a little expansion. Yeah, me too. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we, because of the fact that we get to talk about these guys so often, be it on the radio or on television, I mean, it forms up, quite a bit of information that we're able to draw upon and a chance for us to kind of honor and take advantage of this great partnership that we have with Jaguars Prep, with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the folks in that building who all want to recognize the local high school football players. Very, very exciting opportunity for us to kind of find some of these guys who have been the leaders of their team, both on and off the field, and have really put together a great season, not just individually, but as a team. And to be able to honor them is really cool. And some of the stuff that's going to come along with getting honored is really cool. I won't reveal all the details to that. But like I said, we have a really cool partnership with the Jaguars, and it's going to make it a really special experience for these guys when they get selected as part of the Action Sports Jacks All-Prep Top 25.
Yeah, so we will do that next week. I think we might reveal it on Wednesday. We're looking at the exact time. Next Wednesday is also signing day, but then we'll have our Blitzies Award Show coming out on Christmas Day as well. So we've still got Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Courage Award winner. We also give out in memory of Ryan Keith. So we will continue to do all those awards as our December rolls on in high school football. All right, man, drive safe and give us updates. We'll see you tonight on CBS 47 and Fox 30 before the game and post-game, hopefully a victorious one. That's when it's fun.
Exactly, and it needs to be fun because we're driving all the way out there. Let's go get that win, shall we, boys?
Sure. Make it worth the trip.
Make it worth the drive to Tallahassee. Well, it could have been worse. I will say that. 4A to 8A playing in Fort Lauderdale this year, so the drive isn't as bad as it would have been for some of our other teams who have made the final. But that is a drive we would have made had they made it. So we want you guys to win. We hope Trinity can finish off the season with a W for us here tonight.
All right, good luck at the Busy Bee.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going in there right now. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
All right. That's Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jacks. Make sure you pay attention to all the coverage tonight from Tallahassee. Trinity Christian going for state title number 9. Hey, Austin,
yes.
I actually think that could be a thing, man. Like you should like once a week or once a month, you should sign up at the Busy Bee.
Okay.
Or they should sign you up to give like bee tutorials.
Oh, that's a good call, man.
This is a thing. Like, if you want me, I can help market you a little bit better than your people are doing.
I mean, first of all, don't talk about my people like you know who my people are, okay? My people are doing a fantastic job in marketing. Call me the cheetah. We've been over this. Now, I think – actually, no, I really do need some help. Big time. It's dropping off. I don't know why. Some other co-hosts are just killing it, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess I'm doing something wrong, but no one's saying anything because maybe they're afraid of me. Whatever, though. No,
you win one fight, and there you go. You knock somebody out, and there's what happens.
Yeah, I guess so. But as far as the Busy Bee is concerned, I'm definitely down to drop some bee facts. I mean, I can just sit by the entrance and be a crazy person and like, hey, did you know that bees also cry when they get attacked, and that helps them kind of communicate with other bees around to attack somebody? Did you know that? And maybe people would want to sit down and chat with me. People would maybe throw something in my face. I don't know. People think I'm a crazy person. Huh?
Is that real?
Is that a real?
Oh yeah. So check this out. I tweeted this a couple weeks ago, Brent.
By the way, somebody? Yeah, I think somebody asked you. I don't know if this was a diversion from the Jags, another loss.
Well,
and they said, "Can you give me some B facts?"
So do you remember when I used to do negative play knowledge, where every time there was a negative play, I would drop like a random fact about a topic? I mean, let's be honest. This year would have been
ran out of facts.
Yeah, man. I don't have the time or energy. I wouldn't have had the time or energy. So yeah, I think somebody want me to bring back negative play knowledge after the Jaguars got beat. So they're asking for some B facts. And yeah, the one B fact that is kind of the I almost said that's buzzing right now, but I'm not going to be that Stuart Weber pun oriented. I'm going to say the one B topic that's really hot right now is that, remember the whole murder hornet thing?
I was going to ask you what happened to them.
Oh, they're still around. It's just, COVID and, Trump and Biden and stuff. So that kind of just washed.
So they are still around, though.
Oh, they're still
Are they
around.
Vaccinated?
Yeah, I know, right?
They got the booster.
Yeah, people could care less right now. I mean, boosters and all that stuff. No one cares about murder hornets. But murder hornets are still a thing. They're still a nuisance in wildlife because, as you may or may not know, they do attack honeybees. And I almost cried on the show one time saying how important honeybees were to crops, to everything, literally, to make this world run. So anyways, when murder bees attack honeybees now, they have developed a new mechanism where they will actually cry, they'll scream and shout. And scientists have put recorders when this is happening, and they've actually captured the audio on file. So there's literally audio files of honeybees crying or shouting, whatever the case may be. You can say crying, shouting when murder hornets attack, and this kind of lets out a signal to other honeybees around them to attack the murder hornet.
Wow. If you had not given us previous bee knowledge over the years, I would say you're lying.
No. This is
but I know
a real
you have
fact.
A lot of bee knowledge.
This is a real fact.
Are you Googling this stuff? Are you paying attention to it, or is this coming from your family?
No, I haven't talked to my grandpa in a while. I'm pumped for Christmas because I get to see him.
Why don't you give him a call?
Yeah, I know. This came from because I follow a bunch of bee, just things groups on Facebook, and I'm always kind of checking the news and everything. And this was, I think, in a National Geographic or something article talking about bees. So they're pretty reliable.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Casey right now is his mind is blown.
Oh, Casey,
I have no idea what's going on.
He hasn't seen this part of it.
Dude,
before.
So check this out, man. Do you know how honeybees kill murder hornets?
Absolutely not.
So they get in a large group, right?
Okay.
And they cook the murder hornet alive.
Heat.
Yeah, heat. So it's friction. So when you get a bunch of honeybees together around because murder hornets are giant, right?
Yeah, big.
So all these honeybees, they start swarming literally the murder hornet, and they start cooking it alive. Now keep this in mind. It's like a giant mosh pit, if you will. Mm-hmm. But the bees that are close to the murder hornet, sometimes they die too because it's so hot. So they're essentially sacrificing themselves for the betterment of the hive. But yeah, they start vibrating and buzzing and stuff, and that creates heat, cooks it alive.
That is truly incredible.
No, for sure. But the trippy thing though is the fact that they believe now that honeybees, literally maybe a year ago or maybe sooner, started doing this, where they're screaming now. That was never a characteristic of a honeybee, but they've developed that. They've whatever in their DNA, they have, what would you call it, evolved to the point now where they're, signaling other honeybees around the area by screaming out.
And that's kind of where I'm hung up at, how small the recorder must have been that they put into the hive.
Or how intricate it must have been.
Yeah.
Imagine picking up that sound.
That had to be tough.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. Just to feed off these bee stories a little bit more.
Come on.
A couple weeks ago, I can't remember where we were, but Steph, I think there was a bee somewhere near us. And I'm like, don't swat it away. Don't move.
No,
don't worry about it. They won't sting you unless you feel like they're being attacked.
Preach, Brent Teller.
And I said, she's like, yeah, right. No, I was like, Steph, Austin told me on the
Yep.
show.
You better believe it. Brent, I appreciate it, man. See, Brent's down for the cause, man. We
Oh,
need
man,
more
I
people
love
like
it.
Brent. We really do.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And by the way, more than fascinating about the Bees is that Austin Lane it's on his resume that he has all this knowledge about bees.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The guy played in the NFL, fights for a living, does morning radio, does afternoon radio, and he's like the king bee.
No, if I can only parlay that into something, which you really can't.
Well,
We'll
I
see.
was trying to get you the busy bee.
Well, I know, and I tried to reach out to Miles Jack because Miles Jack, I think, is doing his thing now with bees as well. So I was going to try to give him some tips, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but you're already a busy bee.
I am. Yes, nicely done, Brent.
Thank you.
Stuart Weber would be proud.
Yeah, well, I had eye-opening yesterday, and now that one's today. We're not done with your knowledge, too. Is there a big UFC card coming up?
There is a big UFC card coming up, yes.
Yeah, we'll get
Yes.
into that. We got our Thursday night football. We got more NFL, in fact, as we head into, I think, Week 14 this is. We lose track around here because of Jags. Just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jags could be officially eliminated from playoff contention tonight.
Say it ain't
No
so.
way.
I
Come on.
I can't believe that they're still alive.
Yeah. That's not right.
But we'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Come on out. Jaguars All Access, 7 o'clock with Shaq Griffin.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Becoming partly cloudy today. It will be cooler, but still pretty mild. Highs around 70 degrees, holding in the 60s at the beaches. Fog develops overnight tonight down into the upper 50s and become partly sunny and quite warm for tomorrow. Your Friday high in the upper 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Hey, boss, did you notice the holiday decorations on your street?
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year again.
Yeah, makes me so happy I want to sing.
Uh-oh, I smell a song coming on.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
Nice. Packages near every door.
But the prettiest sight to me...
no safe touch signs, you see.
Do-it-yourself alarms we like much more.
A pair of houses in a row.
Do they have safe touch?
No.
So crooks like us use Crash and Smash.
To get inside and take the cash.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
DIY alarms we love for sure.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
On average, an artificial limb for a child starts at $5,000, and the first prosthetic for an adult can cost up to $50,000, making it nearly impossible for disabled children or veterans to afford the limb they need. At Life Giving Limbs, we cover the cost of these prosthetics, giving recipients a chance at receiving a new limb and a new start on life. Please help by donating now. Visit lifegivinglimbs.com or call 469-601-8523.
Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, and more. Toyotathon is on, including all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Arlington's got 300 used available. Plus, you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program that comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Toyotathon is on, even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
At Napa, we keep things moving. If it has wheels and an engine, we help keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast, like same-day pickup or next-day delivery fast. At Napa, when we're not thinking about cars, we're thinking about the people who drive them. Because when it comes to serving you and our community, our motor never quits. That's Napa know-how. Same-day pickup and next-day delivery available at participating stores and on in-stock items only.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Great person, number one. He's always coaching the younger guys. Like even when we didn't have him, he's out there with TC, coaching them up, talking through things. Hey, you got to do this. He comes off the field. I'm talking about in practice, coaching him up, and he's just a pro in terms of that. And we're glad he's back. But he's just not shocked at all. That's a great honor to have.
Well, that's Joe Cullen talking about his cornerback, Shaquille Griffin. Shaq Griffin, who will join us tonight here at String Sports Brewery, Jaguars All Access, 7 o'clock. He actually won't join us from here, so I don't want to mislead anybody. He'll join us on the show, but he joins us virtually from the stadium. And but we will be here, so come on out. 7 o'clock on Fox 30. You can watch. First time he'll play in a couple weeks with a concussion, but also big news today for the Jags cornerback free agent signing. He is the Jags nominee for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. That on the heels of Miles Jack being a nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. So I think Shaq Griffin is everything what Coach Cullen just said, I think from afar. And personality, energy, all those things which this building needs. This city needs guys like that, especially right now. So I think he's been a great addition, Austin. I really do. I know he's missed the last couple. I think he's played pretty good football. I think they need more players like him, obviously, and he's at the cornerback position not going to change everything and probably win football games. He's left a few plays out there, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But, with all the criticism about how they built the roster and what the roster looks like, Shaq Griffin's not a problem.
No, he's not a problem, and the fact they're getting him back more than likely is big in terms of, the experience. I mean, he's going to cover Tennessee's best wide receiver. I'm not sure who that's going to be. Well, I mean, we'll see if it's going to be Julio. If Julio plays, then obviously it's Julio. But, overall, in terms of the free agents, and contributing, yes, Shaq Griffin has left some plays out there. Yes, he's being counted on to be the top cornerback. But overall, I'm not having buyer's remorse at all, I think, with Shaq Griffin. I think he's kind of, when he's been out there, he's been decent. I think he's been good, actually. So definitely great to have him back.
Does it bother you that the Jaguars never seem to sign a big-name guy that's out on the street? Like Zach Cunningham's the latest. He just got picked up by the Titans. Now, again, I'm not losing sleep over the Jags not signing Zach Cunningham, and I think you always have to ask this question. I know this sounds a little bit like the building speak, but I think it's true. Why did they cut him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
And so I think it's worthy of the question to say, okay, why did they cut him? In free agency, it's worthy of the question. We know it's a risky prospect. Why is he available? Why didn't the other team sign him back? Was it just money? Did they really want him and they know they can't keep him, or is it another reason? I think it's a little bit different on the waiver wire kind of pickups because really it's risk-free. I mean, you pick up a salary for a week and then you dump them if you don't like them, right? So why does it bother you? Because it seems like – man, I can't remember many over the years, all these names out there, and the Jags stink, and they never pick up these guys, at least that are pretty good with name recognition.
Man, it's a good call. I think – so here's what I think about that with the whole Zach Cunningham thing. I want to go back to Odell Beckham Jr., right?
Yes.
He said what he wanted. Well, his agent said what he wanted, right? So they kind of gave the vibe that, if you get Odell Beckham Jr., it's going to be a headache and you don't want that on your plate. Okay, I get that. But, if I'm a GM, if I'm an owner, it should be about winning over everything else. And I understand, in terms of optics, at that time with Odell Beckham Jr., the Jaguars probably weren't in the best of light. But then say you bring a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. in, say, one thing's going to happen. Either he's going to suck it up and play and then get out next year and maybe go someplace else depending on how his stats look, and he helps Trevor Lawrence, or he does truly become a headache. He doesn't want to play, and he sits out. But then if he sits out, you don't cut him. You wait till a team needs him. Oh, I don't know, like the Rams literally when they lose Robert Woods. I mean, I think at that point, if you're the Los Angeles Rams, you lose Robert Woods, you probably would have gave up a 5th-round pick, maybe a 4th-round pick for Odell Beckham Jr. So, and I'm always team player, Brent, because I'm a former player. So, that's just the way it is. But at the same time, I mean, he cleared waivers. Any team had a chance to pick Odell Beckham Jr. up. They didn't value him at what his price tag was at. So if that's the case, so you could have did the contract with the waiver thing, and then you would have been fine. So I don't get why they don't sign the bigger names sometimes. I think a guy like Cunningham at this point, it's probably, it's not like a wide receiver where teams are desperate. I'm not sure how teams are desperate for Cunningham in terms of could you parlay that into something else, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you saying.
Yeah.
I think here's why, some of these guys don't get picked up. Again, why did they drop him? Well, I think Culley had explanation wasn't a good fit in there or something, if I read that correctly. And so maybe there was something going on with him personality-wise in the locker room, and teams don't want to bring that in. And keep in mind, teams usually know more than we do about those kind of situations because they probably inquire.
Yep.
And so they likely have more information at their disposal than we do.
Yeah.
But Odell Beckham's a great one, and there was some same thing going on, right? Okay, maybe Odell will turn you down, or you want to be embarrassed like that. Well, here's where I'm at in Jacksonville. It's embarrassing to be 2-10.
Yeah.
Who cares if you got turned down by Odell Beckham Jr.? I don't care. That's minimal. You know what I do think? Odell Beckham Jr.'s caught 3 touchdowns since he joined the Rams.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence has 1 touchdown since Halloween.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, I'm not saying Odell Beckham Jr. is going to save you, but if you're bad and these players are a little better, and by the way, they're veteran players, so you don't usually have to wait for them to come along.
Yeah.
They can help you kind of build what a locker room maybe should be like. and again, I'm probably giving two bad examples with Odell Beckham Jr. and like a Zach Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Cunningham, there's really no room for him to play anyway right now on the Jags. But they might not be like two of the greatest locker room guys. So you got to be careful how you attack it. I just don't think there's much risk. Like, okay, bring a guy in, pay him whatever. If it doesn't work out, kick him out the door. Like, who cares? Like, that. Why can't you at least try? I feel like when I had this conversation with somebody like a month ago about Odell Beckham Jr., the last big name that the Jags signed, like that was available, like midseason, I believe, and I don't even remember it, but this is what I was told, so I'm going to go with it, was like Jason Babbitt.
Wow.
And now, again, that was a guy that came with some reputation issues, right?
Yeah.
And followed him a little bit, but he wasn't like he wasn't a major disruptor. You played with him.
No, for sure.
Bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a problem in the locker room that I remember. And so,
pulled Chris Johnson's hair out, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that somebody else he pulled his hair out? Whatever. I remember he helped the dreads.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
But he also had some decent games and he actually stuck around for a little bit.
Yeah.
You roll the dice on some of those guys and maybe you end up keeping guys for a couple years.
Yeah.
So, I understand in kind of like a GM coach building way, you don't want to build your team like that. But when you're really reaching for anything and you're not good, and again, this is more Odell Beckham than Zach Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like the Jags have been bad so many times over the years, and these guys come available, and it's like, nah, we don't need him. You don't need him.
Yeah.
Like, you need anybody.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right, Brent. And, that's where it comes down to, well, is winning the most important thing or not? And I'm not just speaking on behalf of the Jags. I'm talking to every single team that's, below 500 right now, that Odell Beckham Jr. probably could have helped you. Like, okay, yeah, if you bring him in, will it be a headache? Will you be in some headlines? Maybe. Will it be a distraction? Yeah, possibly. But what's the worst that's going to happen? He doesn't play, and then hopefully you can trade him off for something better? Like, so be it then. Like, that's part of winning. Like, that should be the primary objective, not, well, I want to win, but I don't want to deal with maybe a little bit of a headache with Odell Beckham Jr. No. Go out there and win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what would you rather have, like bench your star running back for 2 weeks in a row and that be in the national headline and distraction?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I just think that, again, the fan and everybody wants you to sign every big name because they've heard of them. I do think there is a cutoff, okay? I think there's a cutoff between, okay, that guy's a big – I really have no interest in Adrian Peterson. All right? Seattle signed him. I think the Titans had signed him. And I wouldn't think Adrian – I never thought for a second the Jags should sign Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I think you'd rather take a shot at the guy off the practice squad or a young player and try to find another James Robinson, like diamond in the rough, than take a guy like Adrian Peterson. So, but I do think Odell Beckham Jr. in this sense is totally different. Zach Cunningham, I don't know where he fits on that scale, but it just seems like they're always concerned. Again, this is outside looking in. We don't know the details. It seems like they're concerned with maybe a personality or how it might fit in a locker room more than worried about, hey, maybe this guy makes us better for 5 plays on the field and we win a football game because of it. Or at least it helps us.
But this is the whole point of the waiver wire, Brent. Like, this is why the waiver wire is put in place, where it's like, okay, if you're the worst team in the league right now, we're going to put the waiver wire in place with the protocol saying you have first dibs on this guy. So when a good guy gets cut and you're the worst team in the NFL, you have a chance to pick said guy up, and now your team improves, and now the rosters get a little more balanced, and you're not so bad. Like, that's why the waiver wire was put into place. When is the last time this team has actually – I mean, I get Tyron Johnson, but you didn't really do anything. So, like, when's the last time this team actually took advantage of the waiver wire and said, all right, hey, at least, we have a really bad record right now, but at least we got the waiver wire. It's falling through into fruition, and here we go.
Don't worry, they just signed E.J. Ebers or Evans or whoever he is,
for real?
the running back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
My
bad, man.
But I do think, to be fair to the team, your example of Tyron Johnson is a good one where they did use the waiver wire. Everybody did want him, or at least wanted to kick the tires on that, right? Mm-hmm. And they did. Mm-hmm. And so and it didn't work. But isn't that the point? Like, you picked him up, you had him on your roster for whatever it was, 6, 7, 8 weeks. You didn't think it worked, and see you later. But you tried it out, and that's the point of the waiver wire. You're right. I do feel like over the years, and this isn't just this regime, I just feel like over the years when they've been high on that waiver wire, they really haven't made a splash for many. And again, the waiver wire is probably not going to help you out a ton anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally different than the trade deadline. But the waiver, those guys are being cut for a reason. But still, it just feels like while they might not be able to elevate, and heck, Odell Beckham Jr. might not be able to elevate the Rams to a Super Bowl, but it does feel like a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. might have been able to elevate your 2-win football team with a struggling offense and a rookie quarterback to at least have some success and feel-good stuff going toward the end of the year.
No, and that's what you want. Like, that's why you kind of hold out hope. I mean, I know it doesn't really matter for necessarily the fan base if they win, 3 or 4 games. Maybe it does. Draft position gets hurt because of that. But I think for the sake of this team, like, you need these guys in that locker room to win games at the end of the season, right? You have to. I mean, and I've been there. I've been there when you go on this giant skid and then you lose, you end the season on a losing streak. Like that sticks with you. That sticks with you through the off season. It sticks with you through OTAs and mini camps and all that stuff. So, like, you would want this team to improve, to show some winning ways, just to maybe build confidence in that locker room, despite like what the outside world would think. You just want it for the guys in the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. The work they put in. I think these 5 games are big. I really do. I think they're big 5 games for the Jags, for Urban Meyer, for Trevor Lawrence, and maybe it is for even more people. But I really think it's just a big overriding 5 games. So anyway, again, I just want to make it clear. I'm not really complaining that the Jags didn't pick up Zach Cunningham.
Sure.
I just think overall it feels like if you add all the names and really just other players up, it just doesn't feel like the Jags over time have picked up many of these guys. Over the years when they've been pretty high on the waiver wire list and maybe could make a little bit of a difference, at least make you a little bit better. And who knows? They might be right on all these guys. It might be better not to take them.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr., again, I got him on my fantasy team, and he's at least been able to catch a few passes for touchdowns. We haven't seen many of those here in Jacksonville as of late. Hey, Casey, did you catch the Gator UNF game? By the way, who were you rooting for yesterday? Osprey alum, Gator fan?
I turned it on, and it was a lot to a little, so I just continued on with my day.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll say this. I love the Ospreys. They played really bad last night. Gators had ramped it up. They'd lost 2 in a row. They got stunned on Monday night, so there's no doubt, Mike White had their attention. And their defense really ramped it up. But just sometimes the Ospreys, and given this schedule, it just kind of looks like, I don't want to make an excuse for them, but it kind of feels like sometimes this catches up to you. You play UCLA, Kentucky, you play Texas A&M, you play Texas Tech, you play FIU, FAU, you play you play in Florida State next week or in 2 weeks. I mean, and when you have an off night against those teams, it looks bad.
Sure.
And when they look good, they look really good.
Yeah.
UNF. When they look bad, sometimes they can look really bad. Hopefully, they look good on Saturday. Though they play Austin Peay on Saturday at 2:00, and we're going to give away a couple tickets right now.
Brent, hang on.
The game.
Is that game at UNF?
It is.
Saturday, what time?
2:00.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Because, Austin Peay is the biggest rival in Murray State's conference.
It is.
I hate Austin Peay.
I know. I want you to go. Go heckle them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to do some stuff for the other side of the work. So
at 2 p.m.
on a Saturday?
That is correct.
Well,
what kind of job is that?
Yeah, not a good one.
Well, obviously, you guys haven't been listening because we have the Grand in the Sand going on. So
I don't wake up.
Yeah. Yes, we don't listen.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Well, it's all right.
Sorry.
It's all good, guys. Thanks for your support.
Right.
By the way, we're giving away tickets, though, if you want to try to win.
Yeah.
We're giving tickets away to the Ospreys.
My wife and son can go. Fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. Call in 904-362-9901, and you have to name the all-time leading scorer at UNF. And you got yourself a couple of tickets, 2 tickets. 904-362-9901, all-time leading scorer at UNF. Come on, you got this, folks.
I know
it. 904-362-9901. Give Casey a call. 2 tickets, 2:00, Saturday, UNF Arena, Ospreys, and Austin Peay. Go check out the rest of the schedule, UNFospreys.com. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and I have something brand new to ESPN 690 to share with you. Every Jags home game morning, we are bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live from the Duval House. Brent Martineau will be live at the Duval House, right next to the bank, and I'll be in studio getting you ready for a Jags home game, the other games around the NFL, fantasy football, and even some Survivor Pool advice as well. Listen live every Jags home game morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's ESPN 690 Game Day Live, sponsored by the Duval House.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit coraphysicaltherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
The sale's so big, Santa wants to get on the savings.
It's Beards Diamond's incredible 41st anniversary sale, now extended through December 24th.
All GIA certified loose diamonds, all designer settings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off.
We've brought in extra inventory just for this sale.
For over 4 decades, families have been shopping at Beards Diamonds for the absolute lowest prices. Now, to say thank you, everything in the store is discounted up to 41% off.
Nobody beats Beards Diamonds prices.
If you're popping the question this Christmas or looking to go big on that holiday or anniversary gift, now is the time.
Now you can go even bigger and save thousands.
Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price. Believe it.
Shop the largest inventory in North Florida at Never Seen Savings.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off. But hurry, these savings will absolutely end December 24th.
Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough, and the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From city streets to back roads. From road warrior to carpooler. There are some things you can always count on. Like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299. all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money, Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Nothing at all has changed as far as what I said in that clip. You know, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And, you know, we haven't had the start that we wanted, you know, but we're a work in progress, you know, and myself, the rest of my teammates, and Chauncey, you know, it's a partnership with them. And everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to, you know, get this thing turned around. And I'm just trying to be a part of the solution to that, you know, and get us going in the right direction, and that takes time. You know, we knew it was going to be some growing pains with a new coaching staff, first-time head coach, and so many new guys, and we just working our way through it.
Go ahead, pat yourself on the back. Let's see what you got.
I wasn't listening as hard on that one.
Oh,
I was trying to think Chauncey. Are we talking NBA here?
Oh, yeah, you better believe it. And it's just me and you for the time being.
Who is I don't know. Who's struggling right now?
All right, this has
Clippers?
been not exactly. You'd be talking about Chauncey Billups, who would be the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. Thus, that was Damian Lillard.
Lillard.
But that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, you know, I was just trying. You got really cocky on the Ryan Shazier, which I pretty much handed to you. So I wanted to, you know, to give you an opportunity.
I can't believe you think that was a handing.
Dame Lillard audio?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, welcome back to reality, Brent. It's great to have you back here.
Yeah, you're going to do is throw an NBA guy at me, and you probably win.
Pretty much.
Next up is the NHL, and then darts.
I don't even know where to find the darts sound.
Oh, man. You have to go off the ESPN 8 to Ocho.
That's Stewart.
I should start doing one NHL sound a day.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be good, because then you could introduce me to some players in the NHL.
We'll probably the NBA too as well, Brent, because we haven't really been talking about it a lot. But
no, I mean, I now have banned the NBA for a little bit since I couldn't get into the Lakers-Clippers game.
Yeah. Well, it's not the NBA's fault. It's more of a ticket issue.
You can blame whoever you want.
Okay.
I blame the whole city of Houston for my debacle. So
there you go. See that? You're never going back.
Never once.
Did you like the airport? I mean, I know you were in it for way too long. You don't like the airport?
Okay, so answer me this. Why are there no plugs? There are no plugs in that airport.
Really?
I didn't notice.
There's like one per gate, maybe, and then like I'm walking down random hallways to find plugs.
Well, there was like
a disaster.
No, they had like a whole like thing set up. There's like a plugging station, like with tables and everything, like in the middle of the airport.
Bro, the airport is huge.
I know, but like I'm telling you, there's plugging stations, Case. You just got to look.
Well, wherever I was, there was no plugs. I was laying on the ground at one point, underneath some chairs, trying to get my phone to plug in.
That's when you know you've reached the low of the low, when you're laying on an airport floor.
Airport floor, yeah. Not good.
By the way,
should have went the Sky Lounge. Sorry.
Couldn't get in.
Should have went the Sky Lounge.
I'm surprised they didn't give you the Sky Lounge.
Can upgrade you to the Sky Lounge? Does your
airline
have
filled
a lounge?
out a new credit card.
Hey, did the airline that you picked have a lounge?
Yeah, so I picked a real airline. It's just I don't want to trash them on the air.
No, don't. By all means, don't.
I picked, but it was Houston, so I mean you can connect the dots. I mean,
okay.
But you just brought something up though. It's like I just said, outside of travel ball, new phone plugs might be the biggest scam going.
Oh yeah.
Because like, I love my iPhone. I say I'll pay more than you even charge me for it because it's like part of my life, and so like I think I would pay my iPhone bill before I'd pay my mortgage. That's how much I use my phone. I know that doesn't sound real, but I want you to ask yourself sincerely which one you couldn't live without.
House.
Yeah, house.
100%.
House. Roof over my head.
You know, I want my retweets, but house for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Brent, realistically, because remember, so you know when my cell phone broke, I went 3 days without a cell phone?
Yeah.
How long could you go without a cell phone? Like, realistically. Like, I know it's not days, so don't say it's days.
Minutes.
Minutes?
Back when I worked at the Enemy in town, I actually was challenged that I couldn't tweet for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. I did it. So I could do it.
No, but you still had your cell phone.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's the closest I've ever come to not having the cell phone.
Okay.
So could I go without the cell phone? I would say
less than 60 minutes.
Yep, for sure.
I think I would.
His heart would start to raise and everything. He'd get all nervous. Oh, yeah.
What's the closest,
clammy hands.
What's the closest insane asylum?
He would Baker Act himself. How's that for a word? Yeah. I know my law. Don't worry. Yeah.
I think I would. I don't know if I could do it.
Realistically, Brent, a couple hours?
Nah, I could do like a day.
No, you aren't waiting for the insurance claim to go through. You're going to go buy a new cell phone. I know you.
No, seriously, I can do it.
There's no way.
Yeah, I could.
Think about it, because now you're locked out of your emails because your phone's tied to your emails for confirmation. Two-way verifying confirmation. So no emails, Brent.
Can I check email on the computer?
Sure can't, because once again, it's the two-way verification. You got to have your cell phone on you.
That is true.
Yep. 20 minutes.
Very difficult.
20 minutes for Brent.
Yeah, it probably in the long. I think I could go a day. Just don't ask me to go until the next Jags win. But I'm serious about the plugs. Like, so I get the new iPhone. You know, really, I think this might be a couple old now. But you got that, like, lightning cord. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know, man.
Well, and so, like, if I do go to an airport,
you can't.
You have to plug into an outlet. You can't plug into, like, the USB part.
What is
Everything's
Apple
got
doing
a
with
USB.
that?
I mean, come on. Why do I have to buy another one?
Apple's got to always be on, like,
intelligence. You have to buy it.
I know. But like, even when they took
come on, like, we buy enough Apple. Don't make it so hard.
I know. Well, even like when they took
praises.
like the auxiliary thing, you know, like for your headphones.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's all Bluetooth, but like back in the day, you couldn't plug a regular. Come on.
I know it. Like, listen, we're involved. What I'm trying to say is, listen, I believe in the travel ball scam. I'm paying. Don't charge me so much to get in.
Yep.
Don't charge me to park.
Yep.
I'm asking the same thing. I believe in your Apple scam. I love you. I buy into it. But can I just get a USB cord with my phone that I paid $1,000 for?
Hey,
not a chance.
He wouldn't last 20 minutes with a broken cell phone.
Not a chance.
There's no way.
Not a chance.
Yeah, probably not.
He would have gone back on the highway for his phone. If it was him.
He would have crashed.
No, well, that
jumped off.
That is damn sure. I would have
jumped off.
Yes. We'll be back. Football at 5 on ESPN 690. If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the easy garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. Never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
On average, an artificial limb for a child starts at $5,000, and the first prosthetic for an adult can cost up to $50,000, making it nearly impossible for disabled children or veterans to afford the limb they need. At Life Giving Limbs, we cover the cost of these prosthetics, giving recipients a chance at receiving a new limb and a new start on life. Please help by donating now. Visit lifegivinglimbs.com or call 469-601-8523.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
Before the long road trip, before the big game, before the morning workout. Start with 5-Hour Energy. It fixes tired fast and helps you feel alert, energized, and ready to tackle whatever's on your agenda. Even
Hey, babe, the sink is clogged.
the weekend honey-do list. 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. Pick up some today. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
From city streets to back roads. From road warrior to carpooler. There are some things you can always count on. Like the reliability, durability, and power of Die Hard. America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on Die Hard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
for a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox, developing stories from college football. Oregon has reached out to talk to UCLA head coach Chip Kelly. That from a source confirming to ESPN. Story first reported by the Oregonian. NBA, Indiana Pacers and Toronto Raptors both separately canceling practice today. Both teams played Wednesday night, and today's decisions for both teams made out of an abundance of caution due to the league's health and safety protocol. Source telling ESPN's Tim McMahon that Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle has entered the league's COVID-19 protocols. Pacers scheduled to host Carlisle's former team, the Dallas Mavericks, on Friday night. Still plenty of talk these days about Damian Lillard and the possibility of him departing the Portland Trailblazers. Jay Williams offered up his perspective today on Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max.
The question is it in Portland's best interest due to cap issues to keep Dame because of the money he's asking? I already feel like Portland's at this place where they want to rebuild. The question is, can you rebuild with Dame? And I don't think you can.
Blazers have lost 4 in a row, 7 of 8, open up a 4-game homestand on Sunday. Pelicans' Kyra Lewis expected to miss the rest of the NBA regular season towards ACL on Wednesday night's loss.
At Napa, when it comes to serving you, their motor never quits. From next-day delivery to curbside pickup, get the parts you need when you need them. That's Napa know-how.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, we've actually talked about that as the offense as a whole. You know, I think what happens sometimes is you know, the guys want to do something so bad that you know, if it makes sense, that you can almost over try. You know, and when you do that, you can really kind of paralyze yourself a little bit. And so I just talked to the guys, you know, about playing just free your mind. I mean, if you're prepared, if you've done a great job in your preparation, you should allow your preparation to take over. And then if you've done that, then and you're prepared, then when you go out in the field, you're kind of ahead of the game as you're doing whatever your job is that you're doing.
So what does that tell you from Darryl Bevell, the offensive coordinator? Lack of preparation? The players maybe, or maybe even coaching, but the players especially, just aren't focused enough on game day because of preparation, and so they're trying too hard to make up, kind of like, you know, think of it as like a test, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do your work, you do your homework all throughout the week in school, kids, Ty, Kaylee, are you listening? Then on Friday when you take the test, it's a little easier. If you don't do your work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then you got to get tutored by mom, and then you got to catch up and do like 6 assignments on Thursday night, and then you got to hope that Friday you take the test and the test comes out well,
Story
right?
of my life, Brent. Story of my life, man.
But, and by the way, a lot of us live life for that, trying to go through the latter route, as long as we get it done, right?
Well, it's kind of like Christmas shopping, man. Like, you got your Christmas shopping done yet or not?
No. Well, actually did quite a bit today, so that's not bad.
Nicely done. Okay.
But But anyway, so that's kind of the theory. Now, this is their job, okay? So that's not how it works in the NFL. This is a little bit different than trying to get through high school or college or wherever. And it kind of reads to me like that is what Bevel's saying. Is like, listen, if you're not preparing well enough on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, well, then you're going to second-guess yourself, then try to press a little bit to make sure you're doing it right, and then you're not free and easy and you mess up.
Yeah.
Does that happen?
I mean, it definitely can happen. I don't know. It seems like this offense, like that they haven't found the right formula, the right combination to have success, it seems like, right? Like you saw maybe a little bit of it in the beginning of the season, but now like whatever they're doing, it's just not working. So I don't know if it's a lack of preparation. I don't know if it's just a lack of, teaching what's supposed to be teach what the players are understanding. But there seems to be a fundamental, whatever you want to call it, difference in terms of how the information is being released and how it's getting digested, because we've seen at this point in the season way too many penalties on offense. I still think the Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken, lead the league in penalties right now on offense. Now, that might have changed since the last game, but last time I checked, that was the case. So, I don't know, Brent, because, I mean, you could sit here and say, well, sometimes when you over-prepare, then you start to press a little bit, and then you make mistakes. Like, is that what's going on? Probably not. I don't know. It's hard to put it, in a category of saying what exactly is going on with this team right now on offense.
Yeah, I think, listen, I can see how it breaks apart. There's a lot that has to go right. But I also think you can play decent football and pretty disciplined football without being super talented on the field.
Yeah.
I think we've seen plenty of that in all sports. Now, sooner or later, talent might win the day in that conversation, but it shouldn't allow you to be running routes in the same area. I saw another play yesterday, man. It's like, holy cow, like, what is that? Like, what's Trevor supposed to throw to? It looked like Treadwell and LaVisca were about to collide at an intersection.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, what are we doing here? And so whether the timing got thrown off, whether they were in the wrong landmarks, but it was a play where Trevor was rolling right, and it's like, you knew the options were limited anyway because he's rolling right.
Yeah.
And then whatever, he saw that, and he's like, I can't do anything here. I'm not throwing it to these guys. They're about to run into each other.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then on top of that, how do you have 3 offensive linemen miss blocks? I understand, again, this is not easy. It's the game's played in unison. But we're talking about an offensive line that's played a lot of football together. Why does that happen? Everybody talks about how all this started with James Robinson. I mean, Aaron Donald had a free pass at him. On that play. It's Aaron freaking Donald. Like, how do you not have eyes on him?
You have to account for him at all times, yes.
So it's just like there's some levels where I'm sure it's coaching and not getting it through enough, and you got to pin some of it on coaching. But this is why I do say it's a players' league. Like, you can't be that bad so many times in the course of a game. You can be that bad on a play or two, but you can't be that dysfunctional so often. And I mean, a lot of these guys have played football before. We're not talking about 40 rookies on a team or second-year guys. And I just think, you take it from the defensive side, right? I would say you guys had go back to – I always bring up the 2011 year because I think it's the best year to bring up, where I think you said – did you guys – you had like a top 10 defense?
We were 6 overall.
Okay, so 6 defense overall. The offense sucked. I mean, it was so bad.
Yes.
So bad. And by the way, this one's rivaling it. But I also wouldn't sit here and say, Austin, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys were like ultra talented on defense. I mean, you had some good players on defense.
Yeah. No, I mean,
best players. Like, I mean, Darryl Smith, really good player.
Yeah. 2011, I think was Puzz here in 2011?
Tyson.
Yeah,
Puzz
2012. He was.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyson. We had. I'm trying to think who was next to Tyson. Who was our nose tackle? Yeah, I mean, I can't really remember. Russell Allen, Rasheed Mathis, I think, was still here.
I think Mathis was still there.
We had Lowry, Dwight Lowry. We had Landry, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, too.
So 2 safeties.
Couple veteran guys there.
Couple veteran guys. We had Matt Roth, I think, back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I mean, 12.
Probably.
Yeah. But, yeah, nevertheless, I mean, I'm making your point. We didn't have a lot of Pro Bowlers on that team. But what we had was, we had a simplistic defense that didn't ask too much of us. We had guys that did a great job of locking in and doing their jobs, to the best of their abilities. And as far as the D-line was concerned, we had a coach in Joe Cullen who held us accountable because we knew that if we weren't doing our jobs, if we kept on making the same mistakes over and over again, well, then, number one, you get yelled at. Number two, you're probably not going to play that much, So, accountability was absolute. Not saying that's changed here in Jacksonville, but you have seen the same mistakes being made again and again. And as far as we can see, have there really been any repercussions for those mistakes?
Yeah, and it's a different league a little bit a decade later. I do believe that. But I think your point is right on. And that's really where I wanted to go. Like your defense, and it's easier to do on defense. It's a little bit less in sync than the offense has to be.
Yeah.
But, I understand the Jags have had players going in and out of their lineup on offense, especially receivers. But they have guys like Laquan Treadwell, man, and Tavon Austin who have played in the league for like 5 years, 9 years. Like those guys have been around. We're not talking about grabbing like Jeff Cotton from the practice squad who's never played a game. No, I would see that guy making a mistake makes sense to me.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Like these other guys on the offensive line, they've all played a lot of football. Tight ends have played a lot of football. I just feel like you should be able to do basic things and line up and function at least like a play rather than look so dysfunctional, not be able to line up and running routes in the same area. And sure, again, I'm not letting the coaches off the hook here.
Yeah.
But I just feel like at some point, I mean, there's no way a coach is coaching you to be in the same spot on a route. Like, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. And maybe that coach stinks at scheming, and that's certainly a possibility here. And they're not scheming enough open, and I don't think they have done that. But I just feel like you can't make these kind of mistakes at the NFL level when you're getting paid to play on Sunday. And there's just no excuse for it. They have got to play better on those simple things. Now, if that guy up across from you is just flat out better, well, that's going to probably be the case from time to time, one in the NFL, but especially with the Jags. They don't have the best roster.
No, but, I mean, like you said, we didn't have the best roster in 2011 on defense.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, and by the way, so Puz was actually in there in 2011.
He was 2011.
He was 2011.
So, the lockout was going into the 11 season. Okay.
Correct. Yep. And then also Jeremy Mincy deserves to be noticed. Mentioned as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going through the
player,
no.
Right? I mean, I'm not saying we had Jeremy Mincy. We had Ledger Duzable. I can't pronounce his name
Lige
right. Sorry.
Duzable.
Yeah, Lige. There we go. Sorry. We had George Selvey. Yeah. I mean. Oh, and by the way, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Chickamania. John Chick.
Yeah. And so what you had, though, is kind of what I'm talking about. And what this defense actually, that defensive front, Austin, is a lot like this defensive front. Where actually this defensive front has a guy like Josh Allen who is more of a major disruptor than probably you guys had. But like you have guys that have played football for a bit.
Yeah.
They had some experience. They were probably going to be in the right spots most of the time. And then, some days you would have better days than others because it wasn't an ultra-talented front. But it did the job because you knew what your job was.
Yeah.
And you went out and did your job. Like, the Jags have enough of those guys on this roster where they're not playing their 4th, 5th, 12th game of their careers that they should be able to do those things. And they're not. That's what stuns me.
Yeah. No, and you're absolutely right. I mean, and once again, like we can go back and forth and say, well, is it coaching? Is it the players? I mean, eventually there has to be accountability on the players. And, I think, offense and defense, they're different in a lot of ways. Like, I truly think on defense, if you have 11 guys doing their job, then you're probably going to have a positive play. Where the breakdowns happen, where offenses find success is when there's a breakdown in the defense. Right now, if you ask the offense about that, it'll be the exact opposite of what they tell you, but I'm a defensive-minded guy, so that's what I think. But I think on the offensive side of things, it's so much more mental, where you have to be calculated because you can't get by with playing with aggressiveness and emotion and all that stuff. I mean, that's why I was on defense, right? I wasn't, in terms of calculation, no. Well, I wasn't much of a thinker out there in the football field. I was more of a read and react and blow stuff up kind of guy, right? That's why I was on defense. offense, it's got to be more calculated. It's a lot more cerebral, if you will. And to me, that does come from coaching, even more than defense. So that's why I'm such a big proponent of saying, hey, the coach has got to be held accountable here, because that's kind of the MO of a great offense, is the influence of a coach.
Yeah, and by the way, with any job, you have to trust. You have to trust the guy next to you, the guy behind you on defense. And the quarterback has to trust the guys in front of him, the guys on the outside. The guys on the outside have to trust the quarterback. And that has been missing. And for whatever reason, there's not a lot of trust right now, especially on the offensive side of the football, in what they're doing, and that breeds confidence. And so you can see why all this goes wrong. How do you get it back? And I think what the main message is going to be is really simplify this Sunday. We'll see if that helps, but just go play. And I think the one thing, if all this other stuff is going wrong, the one thing you can't worry about, because nobody operates at a fast, high level if you're worried about making mistakes.
Yeah.
And so if you worry about making mistakes, you're screwed from the get-go. And so I think that's what Trevor was kind of saying yesterday, and hopefully the whole offense adopts that. Is like, let's just go play, boys. Let's just go play backyard football. Mm-hmm. And easier said than done, I believe. But I'll give you one more example that I find wild about the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons against the Patriots really stunk that night. Their offensive line, remember, that Thursday night game? Well, they come back against the Jags, and they push the Jags around. They pushed the Jags' defensive front around that, by the way, had been playing pretty well up to that point.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an element. Now, that to me is coaching, because somebody said something in that film room. Somebody said something on the practice field that week. Somebody said something on that Saturday night meeting. And it registered all the way to Sunday, where are you going to bow up and be a man here and beat that guy and compete? No, seriously.
No,
are you going to compete?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to go and say, hey, this is who we are for the next 6 games of the season?
Yeah.
Because they got embarrassed against the Patriots.
Yes.
And what they did is they bounced back. And so if anything can give you a little hope is, can the coaches get that message? Do the players believe that? And they're just tired of watching this film that looks so crappy. Right?
No, for sure. But once again, and I compared it yesterday a little bit to, you saw what happened in Seattle with this Jaguars defense. They come out after that, and then they play a lot better. That, to me, is accountability. That's what makes – a great coach is a guy or a coordinator or a position coach, whatever the case may be here. Take your pick. But any guy that can go, okay, we had a horrible game. We got embarrassed. This is not who we are. Now it is my job to make sure that I get the message across that this is not acceptable, and we need to respond from that, right? I say this all the time. You're going to have a bad game. Right, every team in this league has had a bad game where it's like, what was that? Now some teams have more than one bad game, and then it starts to become a streak, and then it starts to snowball a little bit. This defense, for lack of a better word, I mean, it's been up and down, but at least it's been up and down. It hasn't snowballed for a game after game after game. You remember a couple years ago with Todd Wash when it was like back to back to back, what was it, 200-yard games or whatever on rushing or something like that?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
That was an issue. That was a problem. That was your identity. That's who you are, and they couldn't do anything about it. You know what the teams are going to do against you, and you couldn't stop it. That was an issue. With this defense right now, you have seen some great and you've seen some good. But the point is like they've made progress in terms of how they respond. On the offensive side of the ball, there hasn't been any of that. You would think like, okay, we scored, 7 points here. Guys, this is unacceptable. This is not who we are. We got to do better. We got to do something. Whatever the case may be, but it's not acceptable. If they're not getting the message, if they're not on the same page, whatever the case may be, but we haven't seen an offense respond. This is snowballed. And when it snowballs, well, that's who you kind of are. And right now, this offense obviously might be the worst in the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And that's a very good point, by the way, looking back, that where this defense has done better, coming off bad performances.
Yeah.
This offense has not rebounded, not once. They've regressed, and they have not rebounded. And I think what a great point of that is, what was the Seattle game? Was the Seattle game coming off a bye, or did they go Seattle then have a bye? I think they were coming off the bye. But they were brutal on offense.
Yeah.
Now, they had the Miami win, then a bye week, then Seattle, and then they really didn't bounce back against Buffalo at all either. And then they really still haven't bounced back from anything. So I mean, they really can't even get to Miami level, which Miami level was like desperation, 10 seconds to go, 4th and 8, kick a 53-yard field goal to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even get to that.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. All right, let's talk this Thursday night game. We've got to make our picks before you get out of here. We talk a little high school football with Kevin Sullivan coming up in just a bit, presented by Baker Sports and University of North Florida Ospreys. But we got tonight a game. Give it to us, Casey. We got the Steelers, who can bounce the Jags out of playoff contention tonight with a win.
Say it ain't so.
And we have the Minnesota Vikings, who I think should have already fired Mike Zimmer and are the best, worst team in the league.
Yeah, so that is a situation, but I will tell you this. There are only 3, counting this one, 1, 2, 3 Thursday night football games left. So, Brent Martineau, I lost, so we'll just start there. I lost, I'm the loser.
Sorry, Casey.
But I know there's pride on the line here. Brent Martineau has a 2-game lead.
Ooh, I'm almost dormy.
So I don't want to put any pressure on you, Brent, but this will be the collapse of all collapses. You've been leading the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You're up 2 with 3 to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this isn't really a game that you can fall into an easy answer here.
I see a Greg Norman collapse coming up. Am I right?
So
very good reference there.
Thank you.
There's some options at hand. By the way, last week, Austin Cowboys to win. That would be correct.
Yes.
Brent Cowboys -6, also correct. Over 46, 44. Good job, guys. Way to do it. You guys all suck. All of you. So here's the deal. Steelers, Vikings, I'll pick last again. I'm not 100% sure who picks first. You'll have to go off fantasy.
Brent.
I had a good week.
Yeah.
All right, Brent. Well, then obviously, you can pick one of these teams to win. You can either pick the Steelers +3.5, Minnesota -3.5 at home, or over under 44.5.
Over under 44.5. All right, I'm going to do what do you think the hardest bet is here? You guys name it, and I'm going to pick it.
No, don't do this game. All right? Don't, because then you're going to blame this on, well, you guys picked it, so.
No, I got strong feelings about all 3.
I honestly think it's harder to figure out who's going to win.
Yep.
Like, just straight up win the football game. Because the Steelers could very well win, but Minnesota plays better at home, but then Minnesota tends to lose, and the Steelers aren't that good. So I honestly have no clue who's going to win.
Good call, Casey. Yep.
So you think it's harder to pick who's going to win than taking, like, the Steelers 3.5?
Yeah, because there's a thought process that the Steelers can't keep up with Minnesota and what they have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Casey. Yes, thank you.
I'll go with the Vikings.
Steelers, let's go. Steelers with the points.
Okay, all right.
Steelers with the points. Yep. Good. Good. Set them up, Casey. Yep.
By the way,
I'm back, baby.
I would have done Vikings -3.5. I would do Vikings, and I would do over.
Oh, I like this.
I will also go with the over, not that it matters, but
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe win again.
Yeah, no, it feels good to win.
Since it's
doesn't
been
it?
a couple months. So, yeah, I'll take the over 44.5.
Nice. All right.
Should be fun. All right.
Big game tonight, Brent.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah.
For you.
It could be, yeah, for sure.
The Vikings, man, I tell you, they're weird. I guess Dalvin Cook is expected to play, which seems like that's a miraculous comeback for him.
Yeah. I mean, if you saw the injury, like the guy was on the ground, like rolling around and stuff with that shoulder or whatever it was. So, yeah.
Who's, the Steelers and Vikings are both very much in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to be a bigger game for the Vikings, right?
See, I don't know, because you got that momentum now for the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are still kind of in it.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're in it. Yeah,
But
they're
bigger
in it. But if they
game.
go to 6-6-1, if the Vikings go to 5-8, it feels like they're out of it.
Well, yeah, but the Steelers could pick up a win on the road.
Yeah.
It means something. I don't know. I think I don't know.
I think here's the deal, though. Pittsburgh gets in, they're not dangerous. Like, nobody believes Pittsburgh's going to, like, catch fire.
Right.
Minnesota's a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Even in the NFC. I know they haven't been good, and I wouldn't put money on them. But I'd say I don't think anybody wants to play them. Because they can pop 37 on you anytime.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins can throw 4 interceptions, too, in a game.
They could, but the craziest thing about the Vikings is Kirk Cousins has not been a problem.
No, but he's had Kirk Cousins games every once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. I mean, but everybody does. But
Gonna be tonight, too.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
All right, get out of here, Austin.
All
We'll
right,
talk
later,
to you
man.
more.
Cool.
All right, Austin's out of here. Maybe like trying to put money in the sand in Jack's Beach or something like that. Whatever he was talking about.
That's his
Listen
plan on
tomorrow morning
Saturday, yeah.
On 95.1 WAPE in the morning. Since we reciprocate around here, and APE really pushes our show in the afternoon, I bet.
I've heard they just push it all the time.
All right, Casey, you and I, when we come back, Coach Kevin Sullivan joins us as well. We're talking high school football. Trinity Christian plays for a state title, trying to carry the flag for Northeast Florida in the high school ranks tonight. It's a big one. We take you on the high school ranks when we come back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly cloudy and some fog developing overnight. Tonight, temperatures dropping into the upper 50s. Gradually will become partly cloudy on Friday. It'll be mild with highs in the 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
Sick of big banks drawing money out of Jacksonville? Want your money to stay here and help local folks? At 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, all of our capital is invested back into Northeast Florida. This includes our all-new hometown credit card. You get all the rewards and perks of a big bank, and every swipe invests back in Jax. Get 2 points for every dollar, up to 50,000 bonus points, 24/7 fraud protection, pay with points, and tons more. Support your community with a hometown credit card from 1-to-1 Financial. Apply at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, a proud Visa partner.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah. We're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses at God's safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nights of Lights dazzles with more than 3 million lights in the historic district of St. Augustine. Now imagine doubling those lights as they reflect off the water during your tour with Redboat Tours. Avoid downtown crowds by boarding at Beach's Restaurant Marina at 250 Volano Road. Then sit back and let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer take you on a tour you'll never forget. Don't settle for imposters. Make no mistake, Redboat Tours is St. Augustine's only USA Today Reader's Choice Best Boat Tour 3 years running. Book your Nights of Lights tours now at redboattours.com.
For most, the holiday season is filled with family and fond memories. But for area foster kids, it can be one of the most difficult times of the year. While you can't change that, you can help create new holiday memories by donating a gift they've been dreaming about. Simply contact Jewish Family and Community Services, choose a wish list, then shop, or donate online. Add some joy to a child's holiday by visiting jfcsjax.org. That's jfcsjax.org.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to let the good times roll. And by roll, I mean roll on home in a brand new Toyota, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota has 300 new Toyotas available. And with Arlington's 30-day exchange program and lifetime warranty with every new purchase, buying your new Toyota's more fun than ever. Toyotathon is on at Arlington, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Tannehill's always been a quarterback that can hurt you with his legs on the rollout passes and the boots. And then when you don't pull him up, he's going to run. If you pull him up, the deep crossing route. So we got our hands full. It doesn't matter, Julio may be back. I mean, he's as good a receiver as there is. So we got our hands full, but it's one of those games where if you don't enjoy playing in this game, then you shouldn't be playing at all because it's a throwback game. Rivalry, yes, it's a rivalry. They're the kings of the division. They've been. And if we want to get to where I know we want to get to, it goes through Nashville.
I almost get the sense that Joe Cullen, and that's who that was, defensive coordinator of the Jags, that he almost kind of he's very good each and every week. He's a matter of fact, but it feels like to me, and I might have just kind of read this wrong, that he almost was trying to send a message to everybody and like take more of a leadership role this week with all the stuff going on. Like kind of almost act like as an interim head coach in a weird way to me. That's what it felt like because in the sense – again, Joe's going to say a lot of those things anyway, but I just felt like he was talking to them like, if you don't want to play in this game against the Titans and that hard hat kind of game, then you don't belong in the league, And it didn't feel like just saying it in a passerby way. I really do feel like they're going to try to galvanize off this whole James Robinson situation. Can they do it? I don't know. It is two ways to go. Either Urban Meyer's lost the locker room so much that these guys won't show up on Sunday, or they're going to really play well and hard and hard first and then maybe well and maybe surprise some people. I think that's kind of what happens when you have these circumstances that just took place this week. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Moose has arrived. He's here for Jaguars All Access. So you can be too. 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Shaq Griffin will join us. Jeff Lockman will be with me as well. And right now we'll take you up until 6 o'clock. Coach Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Famer, back for some more high school football talk. We continue to do it each and every week, and we've got one team left. Trinity Christian plays for a state championship tonight. All right, Coach, I got two questions for you now. One is the longest you've ever benched a player for fumbling.
I don't know. I don't think I benched him for 20 plays. If he's my best player. I can tell you that. I can guarantee you that's never happened. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I'm disappointed because I've known I've known Urban a long time, man. It sort of disappoints me because he's always been so much in control of everything going on around him and everything. So all this stuff going on is just so weird for me. I mean, I know it's the NFL and it's a little different than college, but you're still the HBC, man. You're still the head coach, Yeah, and you got to rely on what you rely on is what you do. So I don't know. The whole thing perplexing.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this yesterday. It's like I get that he might be trying to take a little bit more of a broader view from his position as like more of a CEO, although he's always been a CEO even at the college ranks, but kind of for his health purposes and also he's gotten a little older and this is the NFL. He doesn't want to be like all over everybody like he maybe was in the college game. But this doesn't feel like it's working out well, Coach, for him trying to change. Like, I don't know if you ever had to do that. Like, I think people try to do this sometimes. People try to adapt and change and say, I'm going to try this. But they just don't feel comfortable doing it. Like, I always bring this up. Like, I talk to my kids sometimes about this. I was a yapper, like, on the baseball field. Like, I love to talk the game. Like, I was from the outfield. I didn't care if anybody was even listening to me. But I love to be like, hey, first guy on first, one out, outfield's running 3, double play on the infield, something like that. Because it kept me in the game. And sometimes I'd have, like, teammates be like, shut up, man. And so then I would try it, and I felt like I was just not in the same game. Like, I couldn't get myself ready, like, to play, even at that level, at a very low level. And so I just wonder sometimes, like, because he's trying to be more CEO, hands-off, all this other stuff, more than he used to be, for health purposes, NFL purposes, whatever purposes, if he's just not as good at being a coach because he's trying it differently.
I don't know. That's the whole thing, because like the whole off season, remember we talked about like the off season and getting into camp and everything in June and then coming in, everybody knew who was in charge, and that's sort of been the problem the last few years. Who was in charge? You know what I mean? And now it's like completely different. And, you know, and I'm not saying I'm anything near Urban Meyer coaching wise, but if I'm the head coach and I don't like what's going on, I'm gonna be like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're playing this guy inside the 10. We're playing this guy inside the 20. I don't care if Collar's Hyde gets pissed or not or whatever. We got to give him the ball. He needs to touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. I mean, we're 2-9. What's going to happen? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. All right, let me ask you one more thing about it then. Just from your experience, even with high school kids, when you have turmoil, right, when something goes on in school, and I'm not talking like catastrophe, tragedy. I'm talking about like something like one of your best players got in a fight and got suspended, or you had a fight between two running backs. Like that happens, right? I'm sure you had that. And so, like, how does your team respond? And I'm really curious this Sunday because the Jags rallied around James Robinson. They may not have rallied around the coaching staff, but they have rallied, it looks like from the outside in, that they have rallied around one of their better players in James Robinson. Does that sometimes equate to, in sports in general, playing better the next time out, or does the distraction just kind of remain there?
Well, no, I think what Trevor did was big. I think that's really big. I mean, he's played 11 games in the NFL, and he just stepped up. Was like, look, this is one of our best players. He's got to be on the field. So I think that's big. So I think for that thing and the offensive line, I think they probably take that a little personal. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, we got to get James and we got to make him look good, because we make him look good, we look better. So I'm hoping that rallies around those guys. And like you said about Joe Cullen is one of the all-time greatest dudes ever, man. And those guys love him. The D-line guys love him. The defensive guys love him. They've played so much better with limited, you know, they're still limited a little bit, especially in the back half of what they're trying to do. They're getting better. But I think Joe Cullen is what you said. I think he's coming out and he's trying to take some of that off everybody and challenging those guys about let's play better. This is our organization, not offense, defense, but this is our organization. We want to be here a while. We want to be around.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they look on this Sunday. Now, listen, they're still not very good, so you can't just change overnight. But I do think, I wonder if this galvanized them a little bit, and we'll find out. Sunday's performance will tell us a little bit, maybe at how the rest of the season will go for the Jags. All right, good Jags talk with Coach Sullivan, our Hall of Fame high school coach, and now let's bring him in talking about Trinity Christian against Champagnat Catholic in the Class 2A state championship game tonight. Stuart Weber's there for Action Sports Jax. Our coverage in the high school ranks brought to you by Baker Sports in the University of North Florida Ospreys. Check out the Ospreys at unfospreys.com. Trinity Christian, man, we know they're good. They're always good. On paper, they are super talented. And on paper, they might even, I don't know a ton about Champagnat Catholic, but they might even be a little bit better. How do you see this game lining up?
Well, Champagnat, I think, is on they're two-time state champions. They were down. You know, they're down. Trinity came back down to them. And offensively, I talked to Verlin this morning, actually. I think they might have been on the bus heading over. And he said he's really nervous about them offensively. And because they've got a quarterback that's thrown for 2,400 yards or so, 23 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he said that they've got 4 receivers over 400 yards receiving on the team. So he's a little bit nervous. He knows defensively they're pretty good. They're pretty good for what they do in their scheme, but he thinks their defense has really got to play well tonight. He thinks they'll score, but he thinks it's going to be one of those, you know, high-scoring games. I hope it's not like it was against Clearwater Academy, triple overtime, 50 whatever to 50 whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
right.
think, you know what I mean? So I think that he feels they got to do something defensively and really, really create something defensively to help them on offense tonight.
Yeah, I hope I really think, I don't know if he said anything about this to you, but my goodness, Coach, if they could stay somewhat disciplined, I'm not even saying extraordinarily disciplined. I mean, they had 24 penalties last week. That is, you know, listen, high school officials can get crazy. And so some of that's probably on them, but 24 is a lot. And Trinity, let's be honest, they've had discipline issues at times on the field. They play a very violent style. They play fast, and sometimes that leads to some extracurriculars over the years. I'm not talking this team in particular,
sure.
But they've got to they got to keep that in check. I mean, because you make a big penalty here, and it might cost you a ring.
Yeah, without a doubt. And two, and you know, I don't know the status of this and if they appeal, but you know, Cam Miller got ejected last week at the end of the game, towards the end of the game. And so he's one of their better DBs playing, and now they're playing this team. So I'm not sure if they appealed that and he's playing or not. But I remember he did get ejected with 2 unsportsmen last week in the game. So hopefully he's back and he can play. They're at full go defensively.
Yeah, hopefully, as long as there's no punch thrown, he might be okay there to play.
Right.
But I don't know the differentiation between the 2 unsportsmanlikes and maybe being ejected for throwing a punch. I would imagine if he threw a punch or something like that, he wouldn't be allowed back in for this week. So that's something to keep an eye on. Didn't realize that. But, hey, that's the only team playing still. Are you a little surprised we only have Trinity Christian playing for a state championship?
Remember, I told you last week we were going to be 1 for 3. Remember?
I know. Well, last week I know you got it right. And by the way, that was Wild Bulls had a big lead and lost that. It's the second time in a couple years now they've done that. I think against Cocoa. But I'm saying if we go back to, let's say, October, and I told you, hey, we're probably only going to end up with 1 team in the state championship game. Would that have surprised you, or would you have been like,
I think
sometimes that's the way it goes?
Yeah, I think so. I think the way, and I really believe Baker. I think Baker, if they didn't have to go to Miami in the semis, I think they would have made it. I think they're a better team than what's presenting next week. My opinion, from what I've seen and watched on both teams, Merritt Island being the other team, I think they felt good. And again, Bulls would have been the same thing regardless they reseeded or not. They were going to play Cocoa, and they knew that going in, but they would have had them I think Bulls would have had them at home, the old system, and not have to travel down to Cocoa. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought we'd have, you always hope you're going to have 1 or 2, outside shot of maybe 3. But again, once you get past round to 8, man, it's tough. I don't care what anybody says. It's really hard. So
yeah, it's a heck of a football state. So it's a lot of competition. All right, last one for you. I don't know if you saw this, but I just saw this this afternoon. You see Jamie Rogers, former Baker County coach, going out to Bradford, I think.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I haven't seen that. I haven't been on today. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was on. I was going to tell you, I caught 12 whiting this morning for about 2 hours of fishing work today. You want to get ready to cook them up in the fryer.
There you go, man. And you had a heck of a day. Forget about Jamie Rogers. We talk about him another day. Also, Orange Park now looking for a new coach. Is Coach Max out, huh?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, that was an interesting one. That was interesting. But Jamie Rogers coming back to Bradford. That's a big rival, Bradford and Baker now.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch because I think Jamie's a hometown Baker guy too, isn't he?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's it. That's a really interesting move.
And he had gone up to Georgia.
Yeah, I think he went to Irwin County, maybe, or
that sounds right.
One of those small county schools, and done a pretty good job up there. But sometimes those guys get up there and it's a little bit different than they want it to be, and he's got a lot of family and everything in Baker County and stuff. So that's real interesting. That's a real interesting thing. And then you saw Darlington, that used to be the coach of the Popka all those years. He came back to the land from Alabama. I don't know if you saw that, Rick Darlington.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So won 3 state championships at a Popka. So he's
welcome
been
back to Florida for some of these guys. Good stuff. All right. So what are you cooking with the fish?
We got a little pasta on the side with the fish, and I'm going to do some in the fryer, and then the wife's making me do some. I'm going to bake some with that. But yeah, man, it was big day today. I was surprised. I go with my 80-year-old neighbor, man. He texted me at like 7:30. I'm going fishing, and so I always go over. But it was pretty good this morning, about 2 hours, 12 whiting. So I was pretty fired up today.
Hey, you don't even know this, but you just gave the fishing report before we're about to do the fishing report. So have a good night, have a good dinner, and hopefully Trinity Christian gets a W. Have a good one, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.
All right. That's our Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan. Can coach football, can catch some fish, apparently. And let's get into our Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. We welcome in Captain Rick Riles. How about that, Captain Rick? We went fishing to fishing.
Do I need to bring my playbook to this meeting? Is that what you're telling me, Brent Martin?
Hey, that's a good day, right? A dozen, he said.
Yeah, that's a good day, and our whiting fishing's been very good. I'm walking my dog, and I'm trying to think of what it must be like to be trash talked by Brent Martineau. I mean, that's just something wrong with it. Hey, number 3, why didn't you iron your uniform? I don't get it. I don't get it. Pretty good day today. Not a lot of blue water trolling. In fact, for whatever reason, it's been kind of quiet this week. But the bottom fishing was good. But Jody Lynn's had the limits of vermilions. And we're starting to see the first smatterings of sea bass, which means our water's getting colder, as it is wanting to do this time of year. Whiting will be here for about another 4 or 5 degrees. Once it gets down below about 62, 63, we'll probably see the end of them for a while. Inshore, the redfish are still just as wide open as they can be. I'm going to be in my kayak at dawn tomorrow, as we're going to have a good low tide that should bring us a lot of hungry redfish. We'll see. But one thing about it, I'll be back to report on it tomorrow afternoon with another fishing report brought to you by CSS Landscaping and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing. Thank you, Brent.
All right, have a good walk. Captain Rick, thank you. Appreciate it. Florida Sports and Fishing Report each and every day. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. on ESPN 690 as well. Catch the show for a couple of hours. All right, we take a break. We come back. We put a bow on a Thursday. Jaguars All Access coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. And we'll also maybe buy a beer. Brent buys a beer. We'll see if there's any openings on the board. I got to check that out or break out the wallet. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 wherever you get your podcast to make sure you don't miss moments like this.
Word is you have a new nickname around this place.
Sure do, Brent. Because you know
Or do you
how,
like it? Nicknames are good sometimes.
Yeah. Well, so you know, like how when it's your birthday coming up, which it's my birthday month or whatever, like they kind of give you a little heads up. And I appreciate all the work that they do and everything. But when they say November birthdays and it's Austin Lane and this must be Thanksgiving themed, AKA free range hot buns. you guys like that? Is that good for you?
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE? Both of these conditions are highly treatable.
Ladies, if your man is suffering from ED or PE, he should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center offer custom blended medications.
There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
That's 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 44th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
We're celebrating Pork Rind Appreciation Day on the biggest day in football because pork rinds and pigskin just go together. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds has teamed up with Coach Ditka's Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund to salute the legends of the game. Enter for your chance to win $5,000 and a year's supply of low-carb, protein-packed pork rinds at southernrecipe.com.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Visit Amazon today for your Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Colleen, can you run back and wrap that? No, oh, you've got a customer.
The holidays came early for the Hendricks Boutique.
Yes, we'll be open even later when it gets
They'll need a temp fulfillment manager to tie up the holiday loose ends.
I need some more help at the register. Somebody? Oh, Sharon.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, boss, did you notice the holiday decorations on your street?
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year again.
Yeah, makes me so happy I want to sing.
Uh-oh, I smell a song coming on.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
Nice. Packages near every door.
But the prettiest sight to me...
no safe touch signs, you see.
Do-it-yourself alarms we like much more.
A pair of houses in a row.
Do they have safe touch?
No, no, no.
So crooks like us use Crash and Smash
to get inside and take the cash.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
DIY alarms we love for sure.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
I think he's going to always figure out a way to kind of get us into games. If it's, if somebody jump out on us or something like that, it's a little bit more difficult. Obviously, he doesn't have the arm talent that he used to have, but I think his decision making will still be better than Mason or Dwayne right now. So me personally, I would prefer to play Ben, especially because he said this might be his last season or what. So I prefer to play Ben over playing somebody that you don't know what you're going to get from them. At least we kind of know what we're going to get from Ben.
I don't know who that was. Was that not like Marcus Spears or somebody?
No. You sure you don't know? I think you knew around this time at 3 o'clock.
That was a long time ago.
Ryan Shazier, Brent.
Oh, that was Shazier again.
Yep. Double down on it because you were so sure the first time, but now.
Is he like broadcasting the game or something?
Nah, he did an interview.
Oh.
Like, what do you want from me? I can only play so much. Hey, we're getting better.
Yeah.
I mean.
Or not.
Right.
You have a problem with these Thursday night games, huh?
A problem? Oh, yeah. Did I forgot I said that. Yeah, well, no, not just in general. Like, I've seen the Steelers in primetime how many times and the Seahawks. Let's move on. You know what I mean?
What I'm a little surprised by, obviously the Seahawks, you got like Russell Wilson, so you're getting that impact. The Steelers are always going to be on, okay? Like Steelers, because they're such a big, from a rating standpoint, you got to look at this as not a football fan, but a network point of view and an NFL point of view, and ratings matter. And although I think sometimes in the NFL the ratings are a little overrated because it's so big, it's just big. Each and every week, whether it drops like 10% or goes up 10%, it's still like the biggest program of the week on network TV. So how big is it really? People are spending a lot of money, whether it's the Jags or the Steelers, I think, on national TV. But Steelers are always going to be on there a bunch. And then obviously you got your marquee players. The Brady, like Tampa was never on there until Brady came, right? Even though Tampa's a pretty big market.
But I feel like I haven't seen that much Tampa as I have Steelers or like Brady the first game of the season and then the Patriots game, right?
Yeah. Didn't they just have a Thursday nighter though? Another one?
Did they?
Did they? I thought they had. I bet they are on there 5 times in the season.
Well, at least that's worth watching. Like I don't know.
I think the Rams have been on there a lot.
again, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't need to see Seattle or Russell Wilson because he's all they have.
Yeah, the Seattle one's interesting because Russell Wilson is all they have, and Seattle is an okay-sized market, but it's not like this unbelievable football traditional market fan base, the rest. So it's a little surprising they're on maybe as much as you say they are, and I don't know how much that is. But it's obvious why, obviously, the Giants, and if the Jets were any good, or Chicago, or L.A. teams, Dallas are on, because those are top 5 markets in the country. And Pittsburgh does well because they have everybody in every market of the country. The Packers are the same way. Even though they're not a big market, they have fans all over the country. So I think some of it adds up, but I get your point. I will say this. I think the primetime games, the NFL and the TV networks have divvied them up and figured it out better than maybe ever before. We have more quality games than I feel like we've ever had. And maybe it just feels that way, and I'm not really wrong from a technical standpoint if I went back and looked at it. But remember when we had a lot of Thursday night games where it were duds?
Yeah.
Remember when Monday Night Football went to ESPN initially a few years – well, not initially, but it was a few years back, and I didn't think their games were that good. Like, it felt like they were getting third pick of the litter. What happened was Fox actually beefed up the Thursday games because when they redid the contract, they said, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to spend a lot of money, but we have to have better games. Like, Fox said that. Like, we need better games. We need to have more, like a higher pick of which games we can get. And it's, you know, and overall, I think this year in general has had more games go down to the wire than maybe in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, it's fair.
Remember there was that stat? I knew it was through like 8, 9, 10 weeks. I don't know if it's still the case through 12, 13 weeks. But we've had a lot of close games, unless the Jags are playing.
Yeah. Then just throw it out the window unless you're talking 9-6.
Now listen,
that was a
I
barn
will
burner.
say the Jags, but the Jags played their part on Thursday night. They played pretty well, 24-21. Came down to a last kick. It was kind of boring at the end anyway because you knew it was going to happen. But at least it was an exciting game. Had some, they didn't get embarrassed. That was the Jags' best primetime performance, I feel like, in a while, although it's not really true because they beat Tennessee.
Well, nobody got stiff-armed.
A few years ago. That's right. So anyway, we'll see if tonight's pretty good. I think tonight's a fascinating game, actually. I don't know if it'll be a good game, but I think it's a fascinating game because I have no idea who either one of these teams are. Pittsburgh feels like they're always going to turn it on eventually, but Ben's old and Pittsburgh's really not that good and really hasn't been the last few years, it doesn't feel like. Minnesota should be way better than their record is. They have a lot of talent out there, so we'll see what happens. That game coming up on Fox 30 later tonight and on ESPN 690 as well. You can hear it, Westwood 1 coverage. And coming up next on ESPN 690, you can hear Casey Kurtz and Brian Middleton. Action Sports Jax Overtime coming up in just a few moments. I'm staying here at String Sports Brewery in Springfield, 7 o'clock, Jaguars All Access. Shaq Griffin will join us on the show tonight. You can watch it on Fox 30. Now, here's the deal. I have no problem buying a beer, but you got to come redeem your beer because now there's no open spots on the board.
Come on, people.
And so I can't buy it if there are no open spots on the board. So we'll save it till next week.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, Casey, have a good show, man.
Thank you.
We'll do it again tomorrow from Extreme Wing Sports Grill out there, Roosevelt Boulevard. So come on out 3 o'clock. Say hello to us. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you on TV later tonight.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Nights of Lights dazzles with more than 3 million lights in the historic district of St. Augustine. Now imagine doubling those lights as they reflect off the water during your tour with Redboat Tours. Avoid downtown crowds by boarding at Beach's Restaurant Marina at 250 Volano Road. Then sit back and let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer take you on a tour you'll never forget. Don't settle for imposters. Make no mistake, Redboat Tours is St. Augustine's only USA Today Reader's Choice Best Boat Tour 3 years running. Book your Nights of Lights tours now at redboattours.com.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Oh, Total Wine, how wondrous a selection. Fine gifts galore and so much more, and else to answer questions. Wine, spirits, beer, how lovely are the prices here.
Now offering delivery in select markets. See details at TotalWine.com/delivery. Drink responsibly, B21.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
No contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299. All on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money, straight talk wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Two teams who need to keep winning in order to keep their already slim playoff hopes alive meet tonight in Minneapolis. Week 14 opens up with the Steelers and Vikings. Last time the Bears and Packers met, Aaron Rodgers said he still owns the Bears. The two teams play Sunday. That is a night matchup at Lambeau Field. Dave Kaplan from ESPN 1000 in Chicago with his thoughts on the Bears today with Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Max.
This offense is awful. It's absolutely awful. What bothers me most is, like, we'll throw a party. Oh, my God, we got 22 points. Holy smoke. We should have a parade down Michigan Avenue. We're so resigned to being pathetic around here.
Packers can clinch the NFC North with a win Sunday and a Vikings loss tonight against Pittsburgh. Chris Lowe writes on ESPN.com about Oregon pursuing Chip Kelly to make his return as a school's next head football coach. College Football Awards show in 1 hour on ESPN TV.
We're back on Friday reacting to Thursday Night Football as the Steelers look to continue their push to get back on top of the AFC North against the Vikings. Plus, Mike Zimmer continued to put up a fight for his job. Friday morning on ESPN Radio.
Here we go. 30 more minutes. Action Sports, Jax Overtime, ESPN 690, Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz, and we're starting where the Sports Center update left off. How in the world are you going to hire Chip Kelly if you're Oregon? Is that some kind of, like, sick joke? Like, we heard that earlier in the update at 5, and me and Austin kind of looked at each other like, what are they talking about? Chip Kelly, with his prestigious 18-25 record at UCLA, is going to get a better job? 18-25, and you're getting a promotion?
Well, now.
Oregon's a promotion.
It's a promotion, but he's the reason. Like, he laid the groundwork there.
Now, that is fair, but
we have a reunion here. Sometimes exes break up, and you get back together. And mostly it doesn't work again, but when it does, it really does.
18-25 though, and that's the guy we need.
What was his record at Oregon?
That was years ago.
Well, hold on now. Hey, listen, it was all years ago. All of it's in the past. I'm just saying, if anybody's going to give somebody a second chance, see, that's your problem, man. You don't give second chances. That's the problem with you and Austin, man. You got to be more, you got to have more forgiveness in your heart, man. Huh? Let's get that old thing back.
No, not even slightly. That's a horrible idea. But hey, good for Oregon. You went from relevant to irrelevant in like 5 minutes. So anyway, didn't really have that plan to start with, but I just think it's a colossal bad idea to hire somebody that's 18-25. And it would have been a lot worse record if they didn't have this season, because this year they were decent, I think. Right? Like they had been horrible, and then this year they actually won some games. Yeah.
Imagine holding the fact that you actually won some games.
They were the
most recent season against you.
They
for
were
the reason why you shouldn't get hired.
No, they were
You sound insane right now.
They were 8-4 this year. Last year, obviously, COVID shortened, but they were 3-4. And the year before that, they were 4-8.
Folks, I forgot, though. We're dealing with a Florida Gator fan, so nothing but 13-0 will do for them. So you got to make sure.
I told you, I'm
when
a
you
free
listen
agent.
to, okay. I don't know. The way that Napier has been talking, I feel like you've
I haven't even listened.
You haven't thrown out any of your Gator stuff yet.
I haven't even listened.
Yeah. Have you thrown out any of your Gator stuff yet? Any of your Gator gear?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Free agent.
I don't throw away anything, though. You never know.
Oh, you're a hoarder. Okay. My bad.
Well, like clothes-wise, you never know. You might lose some weight. You might gain some weight. Those clothes might be still good. Doesn't matter if they're a small, medium, or 6X. You might need them at some point. Anyway, so that's that. This is Overtime. That's Brian Middleton. I'm Casey Kurtz. We got a lot to do. We're going to totally fix the Jacksonville Jaguars in the next segment. That's because I've redrafted the entire draft from last year. I've changed coaches. I've signed different free agents, and I'm going to put it in Madden and see how good they are. But we're going to tell you what those moves would be. Brian has made some moves himself. I've made some moves. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do that in the next segment because the Jags are atrocious. We talked about them from 3 to 6 on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brent was at String Sports Brewery. He's there due to the fact that coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 30 would be Jaguars All Access. Shaq Griffin will join Brent virtually along with Jeff Lageman as well, and they will do the show every Thursday from String Sports Brewery. Tomorrow, Brent Martineau will be at Extreme Wings Sports Grill, so you can go see him out there, and you can go and you don't even have to tell him you're there, and you can just awkwardly watch him eat a lot of food in the break. It's kind of like Peyton Manning when he was eating that chicken on the Manning cast. Did you see that, Brian?
No, I did not see that.
Well, Eli called him out for not really breathing because he was just eating as fast as he could. So that's probably Brent Martineau in the 5-minute breaks we have.
There you go.
So you can do that tomorrow. But right now, we're doing this. And like I said, we're going to fix the Jags here coming up. But oftentimes when we come in to do this show, there's always something that tends to be on somebody's mind. Last week, I totally denounced the city of Houston in its entirety and just how bad of a place it is. Brian Middleton, I'm under the impression that you came in here today locked and loaded on a Thursday with something on your mind. Is that correct?
Yeah, Casey, that would be correct. Locked and loaded, I got to start using that. I really do like that. There are plenty of topics that I could have touched on today. I've been watching the basketball world. Russell Westbrook, he started doing crip walk, sea walk. Don't know if I can say that on the air. Sea walking after he hit a big three-pointer in the Lakers win. And that was a little throwback because I haven't seen anybody actually do that in a long time. And then there's a UGA player who just inked an NIL deal with Taco Bell. Did you hear about that?
I didn't.
Yeah. That would have been like hitting the jackpot when I was in school because quesaritos, they stay hidden. Okay?
Okay.
But something else caught my eye.
What you got?
I was reading an article on the NFL, and apparently Roger Goodell and the league are going to have to respond to a civil suit that was filed by former disgraced Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden as early as this Monday. All right?
Wow.
Now, we don't need to go back into the nitty-gritty of what the leaked Gruden emails contain, but I think most would agree that at the very least they were highly offensive. And if for some reason you don't know what he wrote, Google is a thing, so you can make that happen.
It is.
But a question that I had as soon as I got more details about this story about a month ago didn't sit right with me. Let me see if it sits right with you, okay?
All right.
Casey, the Gruden emails that were released during the NFL's investigation of the Washington football team were a minute fraction of how many they reviewed overall. Do you know how many the league actually reviewed as far as emails go for this investigation?
Just on Gruden?
Just on, well,
or
no.
just in general? All of
them. For the investigation where they found it, yeah. Do you know how many?
I would have to say millions, but I could be wrong.
Okay, well, you're jumping off the Dane's point with that one. But, hey, it's a 600.
That's it?
650,000 emails.
Oh, okay.
You weren't that far off.
Okay.
Give or take, 350,000.
I'll count that as a win. Because when you said 650 at first, I was like, holy crap, they didn't do anything.
Oh, they were very
I
targeted.
could look through 600 emails in a day. I mean,
listen. I'm not the longest noodle in the ramen noodle pack, but you mean to tell me that out of all of the emails, Gruden, who isn't even a part of the Washington football team organization, or he wasn't even with the league at the time, was the only one who wrote something egregious enough to cause a resignation?
That's a very good point.
Right. So, listen, if you want me to think that out of 650,000 emails, that it was only Gruden who was the bad actor in this play, you must think I'm plumb dumb. Like, don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. You're not R. Kelly, all right? You know, Casey, my cousin always says that before he steps out on his mistress with his side chick, he always checks and double checks his mental rundown so that he can prepare for anything blowing back in his face. You know, measure twice, cut once. You've heard that.
Sure.
But the NFL, at least when it comes to this email thing, they got it wrong. They just started taking out the scissors and cutting and cutting and cutting. Now, the NFL says they didn't leak the emails, which is a bit of a plot twist, but even if that's true, nothing of this magnitude gets out without somebody in the league office knowing, and you can't tell me differently. So here's the deal. I got my popcorn ready, movie theater butter flavor. Already taken my 45-minute bath, got a nice soak with the bubbles, got my PJs on, the ones with the footies, and now I'm anxiously waiting for the next episode to drop of this saga like it's the new season of Cobra Kai. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Okay.
And I can tell you this, the NFL is about to pay twice. They're going to pay Gruden. As much as people may not like it, they're going to pay Gruden, either by arbitration or by straight losing a lawsuit. And when people outside of the NFL scope finally get their hands on some of these other emails, TMZ to be more clear, there will be more people paying probably with their jobs. And that's all I got to say about that, Casey Kirk.
That's a good one because, first of all, I definitely at some point need to meet your cousin because every week
he's out here, man.
He's
out here. I got a couple of them, man. I'm the good one.
Okay. I believe that. But there's just a lot of knowledge coming out, and I need to get in on that at some point. But I think it's an interesting point that you make about Gruden because you almost forget about that happened. And then when it came out that nobody else was going to be punished, the immediate thought is, okay, somebody had it out for Gruden. And that may still be true, but the fact that the Washington football team is just kind of chilling and everybody in that organization and Gruden's going through this, I think this is going to get ugly in terms of something's going to happen. How much will it be covered? Who knows? But I think that's a very interesting deep dive that you're doing.
And it's crazy, Casey, because they were actually fined $10 million. But I haven't heard of anybody resigning. Nobody in the football offices.
Right.
So I'm sure that somebody probably got the axe for some reason. But it's just interesting to me that nobody else. And once they start digging through that set of emails, what's going to stop somebody from wanting to go to the Carolina Panthers? Heaven forbid, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe they need a shakeup.
Oh, yeah.
And just start going through emails. This could last for months, maybe years. This is going to be something to pay close attention to, in my opinion.
I agree. And, it's, again, people would have to, obviously this isn't a make or break your life story, but it is an important one and it is a big one. But to put your trust in the NFL to do something correctly, how much faith do you have in that? I don't. You saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers. They knew he was unvaccinated the whole time, and it was just they were chilling and let him do whatever he wanted pretty much. So I don't trust the NFL enough to actually do anything correctly. So don't get me wrong here. I'm not rooting for John Gruden.
No, of course not.
What he said is what he said. But I think you're in a tough spot if you're a fan because you don't want to root for John Gruden to get paid. But at the same time, the NFL has screwed up a lot of stuff. The NFL is definitely not the poster child for like how to run your organization or your company, if you will. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be something to watch. And I'm glad that's what was on your mind because it's interesting. It's an interesting one. And a lot of the stuff that's on our mind around here, like I ripped the city of Houston. That doesn't really matter. But the story that you're talking about does matter in the grand scheme of things, and it will affect how people look at a lot of different things, including football and the NFL. So I thought that was fascinating. Good work, Brian. We'll be right back here on ESPN 690. We got more to do. I fixed the Jags. I did the draft that they should have done. So if we can just talk to these teams, let's see who we got here. The Bucks, the Dolphins, the Chargers. If we can just figure out how to trade our players that we drafted for the players we should have drafted, it'll be cool. So we'll do that coming up on ESPN 690. We call it Action Sports Jacks Overtime. What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jacks, and I have more brand new local coverage to tell you about. Every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, we're giving you more of what you want, more Action Sports Jacks. From 6 to 6:30, myself, Casey Kurtz, and Brian Middleton will bring you Action Sports Jacks Overtime. There's a lot of topics in sports, and sometimes we can't hit them all from 3 to 6. We'll hit them all on OT. So join us 6 to 6:30 every Monday and Thursday night right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly cloudy and some fog developing overnight tonight. Temperatures dropping into the upper 50s. Gradually will become partly cloudy on Friday. It'll be mild with highs in the 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, and more. Toyotathon is on, including all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Arlington's got 300 used available. Plus, you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program that comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Toyotathon is on, even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line. ESPN 690, Action Sports Jacks Overtime. Brian Middleton on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz on the microphone. We do this from 6 to 6:30, Mondays and Thursdays until we get expanded, but that's coming. Don't worry. I have no proof of that. But anyway, we're doing that. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you listening from 3 to 6 as well. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Austin Lane and Brent Martineau. Brent Martineau, by the way, at String Sports Brewery like he is every Thursday. He'll be doing Jaguars All Access. That'll be on Fox 30 at 7. And then at 8 on Fox 30, as well as on ESPN 690 at 8, will be Thursday Night Football. You got the Steelers. You got the Vikings. And, Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be watching Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I heard that Ted Lasso, it grabbed your attention on your journey to or back from L.A. or to L.A.?
So here's the whole story. I'm trying to spell check my tweet right now, so we'll tweet that out. And then, so here's the situation with Ted Lasso. I got a new phone, but not like the newest phone a little bit ago. And it came with like a free whatever of Apple TV. So I was like, all right, I want to watch the Ted Lasso, right? So I downloaded all the Ted Lasso to go out there and coming back, because there's like 2 seasons, 30 minutes an episode, like a lot of episodes. So I thought I'd have like plenty. So the first flight that I took, it was like 6 in the morning, and I just really kind of sat there and just kind of stared off into space because I was tired. And then obviously the 10-hour debacle happened. So then when I got on the other plane, it was first class. I just, I was living my best life. You know what I'm saying? I was using all the amenities.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I wasn't even worried about my phone. On the way back, though, I watched it, and then like in the airport and hotels and whatnot. So, yeah, I'll probably have that going tonight over the football game. I'm not going to lie to you. I just tell you how it is. But what I will do, I'll tell you this, is when I get out of here, I will listen to it on the way home.
Okay.
On ESPN 690, because that's the spot. And again, I could just sit in my driveway and listen. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll sit in my driveway and listen on ESPN 690, and I'll watch Ted Lasso on my phone. And then it's just the best of both worlds, if you will. So here's a situation. We had a viewer hit us up and say, the Jags are a mess. And I said, yep, pretty much. And he said, you know what you guys should do? You should fix the whole thing. Redraft, do a whole thing, and see how you would change the team with the opportunities present itself. So I thought about that, and I was like, all right, fictional stuff. I like doing that. So here's what we did. I redrafted the whole thing from Trevor Lawrence to Jalen Camp and everybody in between. I'll save the excitement. I didn't redraft Trevor Lawrence. If I could do it over, pick round one, Trevor Lawrence. But everybody else is different. I'll just tell you right now, everybody else is different. Obviously, we have the advantage of knowing how good they are and whatnot 14 or so weeks in, and so that obviously helps. We also redid the free agents. There's some guys we would not sign if we could do it over. There's other people that we would sign if we could do it over. We've also got some moves they made, some trades and whatnot, if we would still make those happen. Get to those in a second as well. But it all starts with the coaching, Brian. And the elephant in the room, let's get it out of the way. Urban Meyer was hired as the head coach of the Jags. Would you still hire him if you had the opportunity to change it?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. Urban Meyer has done nothing but give the Jags 100% more wins than they had last season. That's all he's done. And 100% return on anything is outstanding. So, yeah, I definitely would, even at the point where we are in the season.
And I would too, because do you want Arthur Smith? Do you want Robert Saleh? No. I mean, look, if you could have got some other person that maybe wasn't on the radar, Eric Bieniemy was obviously an option, the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I would still hire Urban Meyer as head coach. I would not hire Darrell Bevell, because I'll tell you right now.
Here you go.
I mean, look, we looked at Darrell Bevell like, hey, you know what? This guy came from the offensive powerhouse of the Detroit Lions, and we hired him from the Lions. That's exactly right. So I don't know who, but at this point, anybody else that maybe knows how to run the football and put your best player on the field when he's supposed to be on the field, because apparently now it's Darrell Bevell's fault, but then it's Urban Meyer's fault, but at the same time, it's the running backs coach's fault, but then at the same time, he was injured, so we don't have to go into that. Anyway, so Joe Cullen I'm fine with as well. Darrell Bevell, Joe Cullen.
Yeah, I think we have to – here's the deal. I understand the question mark on Bevell. So I'm willing to change that in this fictional hypothetical scenario where we can go back and travel back in time and actually change some choices that we made at the beginning of the season. But yet and still, even though I've made some changes to my draft as well, everybody's in their first year. So normally I like to at least give you halfway into your second season. Let me let you get a whole season in. But if I'm not familiar with offensive coordinators out there outside of, I guess, Bieniemy. I don't know if he would make that lateral move like that. But, yeah, I probably would go back and change Darrell Bevell. But I'd keep Joe Cullen.
Agreed. So let's start at the draft, man. 1-1, Trevor Lawrence. You'd pick him again, right? Easy. Don't do that.
No, I got Trevor. I got Trevor number 1.
Trevor number 1. All right. If you remember, they had the 25th pick in the first round. They picked Travis Etienne, who, to no real fault of his own, got hurt. And that's all fine and good. But the problem is the minute they drafted Travis Etienne, everybody's red flags went up because of James Robinson. So I know what you're going to say when I make the pick. So if I could do it over at 125, looking at who was picked after Travis Etienne, I would pick a guy that was picked by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, or however you say his name. He was just Joe Tryon during the draft, but now he has added a second last name. He is a linebacker from Washington. He does not play every single snap for the Bucs, but when he's out there, he's incredibly effective. We now know that Kayvon Chason is not the answer at all. You need help opposite Josh Allen. You get this guy, Joe Tryon. He's been good when he's out there. And the reason he hasn't been out there, by the way, for the Bucs is because he's got guys like Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul in front of him. He's very talented. He disrupts when he's on the field. So if I could do it over, that would be my pick at 25.
Okay. Hey, we're both thinking the same. I went defensive as well. Now I'm going to chop his name up. He went by Jason at Penn State, but he goes by Odafe Owe.
Yep.
Yeah. Owe. Yeah. I tell you what, 6'5", 255, 4.36, 4.4, round up to a 4.4. Urban says he likes speed, and I know he's normally talking about offense, but this kid looks like he's the real deal. Granted, he's with Baltimore. You know, that's just kind of like what defensive players who are picked high are supposed to do. But he seemingly performs in his rookie season so far. I don't know if that translates down here in Jacksonville, but you got to think for many of the same reasons that you just named why you picked your pick, I feel like this would work better in this position.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. So that's interesting. We both went defense because
offense is the problem.
Yeah, and Rashad Bateman's there. So now here's the question. You've got this first pick of the second round. The pick was obviously Tyson Campbell, and I know what everybody's thinking. Elijah Moore has to be the pick, right? Because he's a wide receiver, and we have none of them. Not so fast, Brian Middleton. Give me Javon Holland, who is a safety for the Miami Dolphins. He was from Oregon. He has sacks, he has pressures, he has deflections, he has interceptions, he has fumble recoveries, he has forced fumbles. The dude is incredible, and frankly, I'm good on the whole Andre Sisco can't play because they won't put him out there. Rayshon Jenkins can't talk to anybody. Wingard. Just give me Javon Holland. It's fine. I pass on Elijah Moore. Give me Javon Holland, the safety.
Nah, see, here's the deal. Even though I know that Chark is going to be hurt, I'm picking Elijah Moore.
I knew it.
I am. Listen, here's the deal. I still have Urban as my head coach. And if I'm doing this in real time, if I'm looking at the real-time lineup that Urban wanted, he had Trevor at the QB spot. He had a backfield of Etienne and Robinson. He had Chark on one side. He had Arnold, who he was thinking about picking up during free agency. He said so once he got him. So eventually he was going to get him. And I put Elijah Moore out there. Now, granted, and then you have Agnew. I don't even know if they figure out that Agnew can even do some of the things that he is doing if you have all those guys who are pretty healthy. But I like that lineup. I like the fact that I want to see Urban have healthy targets for like 8 straight games, like healthy players for 8 straight games, as healthy as you can be in the NFL, and see what he can do with this. Because he can lean on the fact that even though every team has injuries in the NFL, it's been pretty devastating here, especially with your first-round pick going down like that, and then also then Chark going down. You're really limited. So I'm going to go with Moore, 4.35 40. That's what it said on Wikipedia just now. So, that's a match made in heaven with him and I believe Urban.
I like it. So, and that's an obvious Elijah Moore. And I'll get a receiver here in a little bit, but Javon Holland has been a problem. And you knew you needed a safety at the draft. You drafted Sisco at 3-1, which we'll get there, but he hasn't even played yet. By the way, on YouTube, I understand the 2 running backs look at Chubb Hunt and Aaron Jones / A.J. Dillon, but first-round running back is too early. I agree, and that's why I'm going to tell you about the running back they should have picked at 6-1, and we'll get there in a second. But right now we're at the second round, and that is pick 13. The original pick was Walker Little. You drafted for your 1-win team, and you picked a guy to develop, which has got to be the most baffling thing of all time. But with that being said, if I could do it over at 213, obviously you wouldn't have Tyson Campbell at this point because I just picked Javon Holland over him. That's why I will take Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback from Florida State. Guy's been incredible. So, yes, to answer your question, offense is the problem, and I've drafted Trevor and 3 straight defensive players.
Hey, listen, sometimes you got to just go with your strength and make it even stronger and then just figure the other stuff out. So I get it. I like that pick, actually. I really do like that pick. Now, I stuck with Walker Little. He is a developmental project. I get it. But something that me and Austin were talking about when you guys were on vacation in L.A. Last Friday, or you were in Houston.
Yep.
But the other people were
Everybody
on vacation.
else was where they're supposed to be. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
You were eating at a diner in a
it's fire though. I'll tell you what.
In an airport.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, okay, I bet.
So good.
One day you're gonna have to actually pull up the pictures. I'm sure you took a photo before you started beasting your food.
I did.
Anyway, Walker Little. I'm gonna keep that pick because I want to see what he's going to be. Listen. You're not winning the Super Bowl this year. You're not winning the Super Bowl next year. If I believe that I can get an offensive lineman who I can develop into somebody who's going to be a perennial, really good player, maybe a handful of Pro Bowls, I'm going to do it. My dad told me ever since I was young, he was like, son, a good offensive line will make a mediocre quarterback look good, a good one look great, and a great one a Hall of Famer. And I believe that if they believe in Walker Little, which is not a sexy pick, which is looking like not a great pick right now because of the fact that it's a year one team and he's going to have to kind of grow into a role, then I get it. But I'm under the premise that, listen, offensive line is just as important as anything else. As a matter of fact, it's more important, so I respect them for actually taking the O-lineman so high.
Boo. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't do it again. I mean, you got good value on him, that's fine, but he doesn't even play. You're on a one-win team, he doesn't even play. So I respectfully disagree that that's a horrible idea on your end as well. But nevertheless, we'll move to the third round. That's where you drafted Andre Sisco. Obviously, the way I look at it is you just drafted Javon Holland. We'll get to free agency in a bit, so you don't need to worry about safety again. Just big trust on that one. That's why I'll go somebody that weighs a lot of pounds and plays on the defensive side of the ball to stop the run. He currently plays for... That's a great question. I want to say Carolina, but that feels wrong. Anyway, it's Aleem McNeil, who is the defensive tackle from NC State. He clogs up the middle. He has sacks. He stops the run. He's been good. He was picked a couple picks after Sisco originally. So give me another defensive player in the middle, Aleem McNeil.
I see what he's doing. Folks, I see what Casey's doing. I don't want to give away his strategy. So you're going to draft defensively, but offensively, you're about to start beasting on the offensive side. I like it, Casey. That's not what I did at all. So I finally gave Urban a running back. One that I feel like...
I almost did this too.
Yeah, that is actually showing some worth. I had to dig a little bit just now to really see who's really kind of showing out in their rookie season. And so maybe it's because of the team he's on, or maybe it's a mix of that and the actual talent that he has. But Michael Carter.
Yeah.
The New York Jets.
Yeah, no, he's been good. He catches the football out of the backfield as well.
That's what he likes, yep.
Yeah, so no, that's a quality pick. And the way I look at it is if you make that pick there, by the way, I'm fine with it. It's value. ETN, where you drafted him to do the same thing, probably was not as much value. So I'm with that. I'm with Michael Carter. Let's move. Let's keep rolling. We got a few more picks to do. Let's go to 4-1, and that would be Jay Tufele, who was picked the first pick of the fourth round. I mean...
Don't do it. You going for real?
What?
You about to do it on this pick right here? You got a different pick?
Yeah.
Oh, let me hear this one.
Yeah, so this one... if I just drafted a defensive tackle the pick before who actually can play.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't need another one. So, look, DJ Chark and the boys, you probably need some help in the receiver room, especially because you don't know the free agents I've signed yet. But it's pretty straightforward. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver from USC, who just scored the game-winning touchdown for the Lions. And look, if you're drafted in the fourth round, yeah, you expect him to play. You don't expect him to be great. And that's literally exactly what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. He plays. He's out there for the Lions. He's making a name for himself. And he's a rookie. And I don't know what to tell you other than it's a fourth-round pick, and he has 49 catches for 438 yards and a touchdown this season. From a fourth-round pick, the Jags would take that all day and night because guys like Laviska Shenault are a second-round pick and not really near those stats. So I will take Amon-Ra St. Brown at 4-1 if we could do it over.
You can keep the 4th round the same for me. I didn't change either one of the picks. But then again, I have a different strategy than you.
I guess so, because let's go to 4-16 where Jordan Smith, he hasn't even slightly sniffed the field.
Not at all.
Hasn't even been out there, not once.
Not at all.
Give me, and obviously knowing what I know now, give me Evan McPherson, kicker from Florida.
Okay. All right. We here. I'm one pick behind you. We here. Okay. I got you. Why are you picking Evan McPherson?
Because Josh Lambo was no good, and no disrespect to Matthew Wright, Evan McPherson's been good.
Yeah,
he left. Listen, if you're a kicker and you leave early from anywhere, college, he left the University of Florida early.
He probably saw what was on the horizon.
He saw writing on the wall, and he's a quality kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals. So fix that right there. Give me Evan McPherson, because, look, you picked a guy that hasn't even played yet. So, I mean, you literally would have impact from Evan McPherson. Let's go to 5-1. You originally picked Luke Farrell. At this pick, 5-1, I'm going to take a dude by the name of Caden Stearns. Caden Stearns is a cornerback who plays for the Denver Broncos. He came out of Texas. Already has, let's count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passes defended. Already has not 1, but 2 interceptions, 2 sacks as well. This guy is all over the field for a 5th-round pick, and we have Luke Farrell. So give me Caden Stearns, a second cornerback. But now you've got Shaq Griffin, you've got Asante Samuel, and you've got Caden Stearns. Boy, I'm feeling good about the cornerbacks on this team.
Are you feeling good about the cornerbacks on the team?
Fictional, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so, I got Luke Farrell out of here, too, in his 6 catches for the season. Evan McPherson, that's who I picked.
Nice.
For that. And I did that as an ode to you. And also, yeah, you're right. He's just been good in Cincinnati, 17 for 20, along with 54. That would have helped out early on in the season for more than a couple of games. The record would probably look just a tad bit different, at least hopefully, if he was actually on the team, the one kicking, making those kicks. And plus the fact that if we're getting Dan Arnold here, I don't need Luke Farrell. He's not doing anything. You're talking about sniffing the field. And not a knock to him. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I'm not knocking these players. It's just what is the production that I have seen, and I've seen way more from Evan McPherson. So, yeah, he's my pick for the 5th round.
I like it. 6-1 was the last pick in the draft. You originally picked Jalen Camp, who now plays for the Texans. You didn't even give him a chance, but it is the 6th round, whatever. Here's where I get my second running back, and that would be Khalil Herbert out of Virginia Tech. Was available at this point, and if you're asking yourself, who is Khalil? Well, he didn't sniff the field for a couple games in a row. He comes out, first game, 3 carries for 7 yards. It is what it is. However, game 5, David Montgomery gets hurt. What happens? 18 for 75, 19 for 97, and a touchdown. 18 for 100, as well as 5 catches. 23 for 72 and a couple of catches. Oh, my goodness. Returns kicks as well. Guy is speed. He's a 6th rounder. Perfect compliment to James Robinson. His Twitter handle is Juice Herbert. I would have picked Khalil Herbert.
And he's a what?
Running back.
The last running back named Juice that I can think of off the top of my head. That's probably not what you want to do. But if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. But I'm just saying, Juice and running back. Okay. I would say mine is strictly because I just like the name.
Okay.
For instead of Jalen Camp in the 6th round, I picked Brady Breeze of the Tennessee Titans. He's a safety. He's still on the team. And, I just like the name. Brady Breeze.
Nice.
Huh?
I like it.
We can get there. Breeze for the tackle. Breeze with the interception. It's a breeze out there.
Very nice.
I don't know about that last one.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. But anyway, that's the redraft, so we'll do the free agents quickly. By the way, a couple of things I would add to mine. I do not cut Colin Johnson. I think he should have stayed on the team, especially with your wide receiver problems. I still trade C.J. Henderson for Dan Arnold because Dan Arnold, against all odds, has been like their best offensive option.
That was a surprisingly better trade than I thought.
Yeah.
When I first was like texting you and roasting you, I was like, man, wow. Okay.
And in my fictional scenario, by the way, I would also have drafted Samuel and Stearns, so I'd feel good with Shaq. I would also not trade Joe Schobert. I think he should be on this team playing with Miles Jack, and I would still trade for Malcolm Brown. So that's kind of where I'm at there, and here's the free agency situation. So these are the guys you drafted that have made impacts. Shaq Griffin, Rayshon Jenkins, Roy Robertson Harris, Agnew, Marvin Jones, Chris Manhertz. C.J. Beathard hasn't really made an impact, but he's on the team. Carlos Hyde, Jihad Ward, Damian Wilson, Laquan Treadwell, and Rudy Ford. They spent about $55 million this year alone on those guys. So here's what I did, and I'll make it pretty clear for you, Brian. Shaq Griffin, I still sign 100%. Jamal Agnew, 100%. Rudy Ford, 100%. And C.J. Beathard, 100%.
Oh, that's it.
And wait, did I say Treadwell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shaq, Agnew, Rudy Ford, Treadwell, Beathard.
And the rest of y'all can kick rocks.
So, yeah, Rayshawn can go because I've drafted the safety. Robertson Harris can go because I've drafted the defensive tackle. And you still have guys like Taven, who, against all odds, is playing well. Malcolm Brown as well. So, but Carlos Hyde, Damian Wilson, I keep Schobert, and I'll be fine there. Manhertz, y'all got to go. So here's what I did. And this is the obvious answer. Hunter Henry for $12.5 million. That's what the Patriots are paying him this year, average annual value. I'd pay him like 17 at this point. So Hunter Henry, I'd re-sign him for whatever he asked for, or I would sign him for whatever he asked for, to be your tight end, to pair him with Dan Arnold and James O'Shaughnessy. So that's what I would do there. At the wide receiver position, I would sign two gentlemen, one by the name of Emmanuel Sanders, who against all odds has been pretty good this year for Buffalo, and Sammy Watkins, who all of a sudden has been okay again in Baltimore. He's been hurt a little bit, but you kind of expect that.
Now, hold on, Casey. Now listen, we had a text conversation maybe about a month ago, and you were like, I don't know why he's still in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're still letting him play, I believe is what you said.
Yeah. Well, that's the Ravens. This is the Jags.
Okay, all right.
Look who's out there. I mean, dang. I would put Sammy Watkins.
You'd put Sammy Watkins on your team before Elijah Moore.
No, I wouldn't. But I would draft Javon Holland before I would draft Elijah Moore.
It just sounded like you did. So
listen,
you would. So you would.
Listen, you got Sammy Watkins on one side. You got Chark on the other side. You got Emmanuel Sanders in the middle. You got fourth receiver Laviska. And then you mix and match with Treadwell, who's been okay. And there's probably somebody else that plays receiver for the Jags. So, yeah, I would sign those two receivers. And then go ahead on the defensive side. You still need another safety because I don't want Wingard out there. Give me Jalen Mills for $6 million, who, by the way, has green hair. Not natural, of course, but has green hair. And he has been good for New England. Got to pull these numbers because they were impressive. Yeah, 5 passes defended, a fumble recovery, and I believe has an interception as well. So I would sign him to play your other safety opposite Javon Holland. And then give me Chris Wormley. Ever heard of him?
No.
Yeah, well, me neither. But here's the thing. He only costs $2.2 million. He has like 5 sacks. He plays defensive tackle to firm that up. So Beathard, Mills, Wormley, Watkins, Sanders, Treadwell, Rudy Ford, Henry, Agnew, and Shaq.
How many wins does this team get you?
I don't know, but it cost me $56.9 million. So how many wins does this team get me? I don't know. Maybe 5.
For the season or where we're at right now in the season?
For this season.
Oh, that would be. I think the fan base would deal with that a lot better.
Because here's the thing. Let's look real quick as we get out of here. You have any free agents you want, by the way?
Hey, man, any free agent I have right now needs to stay right where it's at, man. What do you got?
Wait. You don't have no free agents you want to sign?
Well, no, but here's the deal, right? So when I did my redraft, I did it off of the fact that, listen, I'm going to keep the free agents that I have.
I see.
And so some of the changes that I made sure that I equaled out defense and offense. But that being said, man, listen, I think that most of the free agents, I mean, they haven't. I can't think of them being terrible. Listen, it's not a good team, but it's not necessarily you got a free agent or one or two that were going to change this and make this even into a 5 or 6 win team.
Yeah.
And plus, some of these games early on, if they were going to win 5 or 6 games, which I guess is still possible with the amount of games that are left, it was lost because of 2 plays here, 2 plays there, a missed field goal, something like that. So I don't want to take too much from the actual free agents that we signed, even though this is hypothetical. I totally get it. I think for the most part, they got a lot of it right there as well. So
I don't know about that. But anyway, So here's the situation. If you look at the schedule, you still lose, in my team at least, you still lose that game to the Texans because Trevor threw it to the other team like 5 times. The Broncos game, you lost by 10 and you missed 2 kicks. So you make those 2 kicks and an extra point, I should say. There's 7 of your points. You're down 3. That's a totally different game. The Cardinals game, by the way, they did not play terrible. They missed kicks. And they did the stupid flea flicker that came back for a pick 6. You have a different offensive coordinator, maybe that changes. The Bengals game, you lost by 3 because you couldn't score in the second half. I'd like to think the defense that I put together is better than the one they have, and they could maybe make a stop at some point along the line. You lose to the Titans, that is what it is. You get killed by the Seahawks, I guess. I'm still going to claim the Buffalo win. You had an opportunity to beat the Colts with this team. You beat the Falcons with the team I have, I'm telling you right now. You lose to the Rams, you probably lose to the Titans. And then you've got the Jets and the Texans coming up. You win one of those games. So you take one of those, the 2 they have, one of these ones up here, you steal one along the way, that's 5. And by the way, I think 5 wins would be great here. 5 wins was the expectation.
I think the fan base would be more than happy with 5 wins this season, which is, I guess, like I said before, still a possibility.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, with these boys, I picked Super Bowl in at least 2 years. I'm going to go run it on Madden, and I'll let you know how they do.
What?
What? It's true.
Super Bowl in, 2023?
24 cover,
24?
Yeah, 100%. With these dudes.
Super Bowl, the NFL?
Yeah, and a couple more, like the free agent classes as they go along. Like you get another receiver so you can get rid of Sammy Watkins. Right. I'm just saying you have Sammy Watkins so you can have a body.
You got to have belief. See, this is what the front offices and GMs, the kind of belief they got to have in their picks right here. So, go ahead. GM Casey Kurtz, everybody.
Hey, I'm just saying I think I did a great job. By the way, let's stay on the Sammy Watkins real quick. I know we got to get out of here. Sammy Watkins or Laviska Shenault?
Well, at this point, I would pick Sammy Watkins.
Okay, yeah. Sammy Watkins or Laquan Treadwell? I would actually take Treadwell. Sammy Watkins or Marvin Jones? I think that's up for debate.
Toss up.
Here's the real question. Sammy Watkins or Tavon Austin? I rest my case.
Well, you rest your case?
You would rather have Tavon Austin than Sammy Watkins?
Number one, if you had let me finish, I would have said Sammy Watkins, but it would have been like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
How is that even a debate?
But listen, I've watched Casey. See, folks, everybody out here, I know we're blowing through this break real quick. Casey is doing a 180, and I don't understand this right now. Casey was so down on Sammy Watkins. He said Sammy Watkins shouldn't be in the league.
I've said the same thing about Tavon Austin.
The league. It doesn't matter if it's the Jaguars or the Ravens. So now to hear him fawn over Samuel Watkins, it's amazing. I'm a little thrown off.
But the Jags aren't even really the league.
I'm done, man. I'm done.
I'm done, too, because we got to get out of here on Action Sports Jax. OT on ESPN 690. That was Brian Middleton. I'm Casey Kurtz. Coming up, Fox 30, 7 o'clock, Brent Martineau. Jaguars All Access. He'll be joined by Shaq Griffin, who I would keep on my redraft team. And then after that at 8 o'clock as on Fox 30 as well as on ESPN 690 right here, you can hear Thursday Night Football. That'll be the Steelers. That'll be the Vikings. I'll be watching Ted Lasso. But we'll come back here and talk about it tomorrow from 3 to 6. Brent will be at Extreme Wings. Austin Lane will be sitting in that chair. I'll be sitting in the chair Brian Middleton's sitting in, and we'll do it. For OT, we will be back on Monday. I'll have something on my mind. We'll have some stuff to break down, all of the things, but we'll do it again on Monday. Brian Middleton, appreciate you. Have a good weekend. Appreciate y'all listening. Have a good weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. Peace.
Koala, koala, koala insulation.
Hey, I'm Caray.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala